There we are. Wow, I didn't see
Larry,
that.
welcome in. This, no, I've only used it a couple times. I want to see how it would work. I got to look at the replay and see if it buys me time, you know. So Larry has popped up first, and anyone that wants to join us, I'm going to keep putting the link into the chat. So just click in, and we'll take you up with us. This is a no agenda, just shoot whatever afternoon, night time, I guess. So welcome in, Larry, and thank you for joining me. I'd like to also say hello to Doug and Nikki. Geez.
Hi, Doug. Blaine. Hi, Nikki.
Blaine, welcome in. Oh, someone's down in the basement there. Daniel Fields, who's running out to eat, but thank you for popping in. TJ, who I think is down in the basement. And Najuma, of course. Well, sure, Najuma.
There's my girl, Najuma. I gotta be on. I gotta be good here. She'll put me in timeout.
I'm sure she wants to
whatever you do, don't turn her blue. She'll put me in timeout.
That's right. West Haven, always and forever. Welcome in. And let's see, they're missing with Paul Vines. Thank you for joining us. And okay, so that's everyone right now. And I'm going to bring TJ up to join us.
Hey guys.
Welcome in, TJ.
What up, guys? How's y'all's weekend be?
Good. Now, you didn't go live today, TJ, huh? I looked to make sure I wasn't approaching
I got a little busy today. We had some crazy weather last night, so I just didn't do it today. I know I have an epic live. I got a 12-hour live next week.
Is that the big one, the fundraiser?
Mm-hmm. So me and two of my partners, Justin and Jonathan, are going to join me. Where his brother's got, it's a very rare form of cancer. It's called small blue round cell. Is the easy term to say. Only 200 people ever had it. It's one you get in your 20s. It's your abdomen. He just got back from New York to see the one specialist in the entire United States about it. It only occurs to you in your early 20s. He's 22.
Really?
It's like a 15% chance to get through it. So it's just been touch and go. Where he's got to GoFundMe. He's already a little bit halfway to his goal, which is 25,000. He's right at like 10,200, so around there. So we're just trying to help get to that 25 to help with bills, because of course right when he's doing all this, right when he found he has cancer, he was the day after he closed on his house.
Oh jeez.
So, I didn't hear that. What was that, TJ?
The day after he closed on his house, he found out he had cancer.
Oh
yeah. He had just become a certified electrician, just
starting life.
Yeah.
Career and everything.
Yeah. So
is he live in Florida or Louisiana?
No, the two guys with me, they're going to be live in the studio with me. They all live here. These are my two guys. We'll kind of tell the story more on the live, but the three of us know each other like for about 6 years, and we're just three amigos. We always help each other out when stuff happens. So it's one of those. I said, let's use the show for good.
Right. Absolutely. Do you have is there a GoFund link or anything that?
I have to get it from you. I have to get it from Facebook real quick, but I can put it on there
if you would like to. That's fine.
Sure. Let me just put it over here.
Okay.
So, but that's the one thing we've been working. That's one thing I've been working on with them all week, because we're going on the same time as Danny normally does next week, but they both work on Saturday. So it's like one of those, everybody's got to get linked up. And I kind of talked to Danny. I was like, I'm sorry I got to go on the same time as you, but my hands are kind of tied. He's like, dude, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's funny. There's that I looked today to make sure it wasn't stepping on your toes, and then I sent Danny a message to make sure I wasn't, stepping on his, because mine was just a pop-up.
Right.
But
we'll always make sure. I always try to check, on YouTube itself, but then go to the live place and check there too, just to make sure. And where is this? I'm at the right spot. But that's always been my. Oh wait, I know where I can go. What's that? I forgot. I already got the live for next week up.
Next Saturday, TJ?
Huh?
Next Saturday?
Next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. We're going 12 hours straight for them. It's called Blood, Sweat, and Beers.
Oh, I think I saw that term. Welcome in. Cruise Day Fun.
Cruise Day Fun. Amazingly, I actually started my Instagram before I started YouTube, and I think they were the very first channel I started following. But it was only in Instagram that I followed them. I didn't put that they had a YouTube channel. I just they were cruisers, and I was trying to get making friends with cruisers, and then yeah, they were the very first cruise community on Instagram.
Oh, it's probably. Oh, I'm not a mod on your show, John.
Oh, you're not. Oh,
jeez.
So
send it to Blaine. Send it to Blaine because I'm a mod, but
okay.
Send it to Blaine. He's a mod. He'll share it.
Yeah, he's in the house. That's right.
Gotcha. Let me go just a long way. Let me go Messenger.
Blaine, if you haven't been following this, it's a what do you call it, fundraiser next weekend that TJ is heading, and he's going to send the link to you since you're a mod, and maybe you can put it online or in the chat.
1 second.
Send him the link for the GoFundMe as well.
1 sec. I
think that's what he was sending.
Well, the link to his fundraiser, and then the link to the.
Yeah, I'm doing both. 1 second. Just not let me do what I want. Ugh. I haven't turned on my regular computer in a week, so it's just not. Here, I'll put in the private chat so you can copy paste it that way.
Can I do that? Because I can do that because I'm a mod.
Yeah, it's in the private chat.
Okay, okay, give me a sec. Let's see. Oh, I didn't know I can do that. That's a good idea. Interesting. Oh no, it's too long.
Oh, let me wait. I got an idea. Wait, give me a second. Now that I'm here, I can do this. I get the bit. 1 second. Wait, watch this. Boom, 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 boom. There you go.
That one's much shorter.
Yeah, very much shorter.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if I can actually put it. I don't think I can actually do it, though, right? It's only the mods can do it for some weird reason.
You can do it, too.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, I was doing that during my last live. I did it the whole time.
Okay. All right. Oh, you put it in, Larry. So you want to, TJ, before it scrolls up, I'll put it in here again, but just another quick synopsis what that link is for people who just joined us.
It's for our personal friend, Derek Diaz. Actually, his brother's my best friend in the world, Justin, who will be on the show with us. He's got GoFundMe. He's got a very, very rare form of cancer called small blue round cell is the easy term without me trying to say a word. It has 15 syllables. I'll be butchering it, but only 200 people have had this form of cancer since it was found in 1982. He's been in the Sloan Kettler Center in New York the last couple of weeks, trying to figure out what the pretty much the treatment will be. And you have to use very aggressive chemo to get the tumors. He's got 3 tumors right now.
Holy cow!
They gotta get, but before they could, where they already have them, they're connected to a lot of stuff, so they got to shrink them first before they can pull them out. So right now we're at chemo, but he had day before he had his cancer, he had closed on the house, and pretty much because the cancer where it's at, he's an electrician, professional electrician, he can't work right now. So we're trying to raise money for 2 things: A, to help with his medical bills, and B, to help with just his regular bills right now. So just be an electrician, have this type of cancer, he cannot work at the moment. So
right.
That's what next week we'll be having what's going to be called Blood, Sweat, and Beers. That'll be me. You'll be my 2 personal friends, my 2 best friends in the world. Justin and Jonathan will be here with me. We're going to go 12 hours. We got a bunch of crazy stuff we got planned. We actually have our final creative meeting tomorrow with a lot of insane ideas. I've had to tone half theirs down because I was like, we got restrictions here.
Yeah, that's right.
We can't talk. I had to. It was a 30-minute conversation to say why we can't talk about the C word.
Yeah.
And talk about certain conspiracy theories and stuff. So I've had to coach them in, this is what we're gonna do, blah 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 blah. So it's kind of remembering everything I had to relearn first.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what they prohibit.
Yeah, so back here.
Yeah, let me put this. I'm putting the link up in the chat again. Anyone that would like to join us, Cruise Day Fun made a reference to the the Love and Marriage show there. I don't know how people go up there and get off it without getting into a fight at some point. It looks like the Spike has survived, but I've heard a couple other couples who are kind of battling it out for a few days.
There was Love and Marriage show last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing it every Friday.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Mark, welcome in.
Oh, hi, Mark. Or Stephanie.
It's funny how you can almost feel which person in the couple, is online.
At this point, we all pretty much know who's who, wins a show handle. So, I mean, 9 out of 10 times we know exactly. I mean, if it's Spikers, it's usually Cindy. If it's me, my show, it's me. If it's Power, it's Larry. If it's Jade, it's usually you, John. If it's us, or I'll say 80% of the time, it's going to be Heather.
Right. And if it's after midnight, it's Heather.
Exactly. So what else is good, guys? Like, what y'all think about this whole everything with the cruise, Florida suing the CDC, all this fun stuff happening?
Has there been an update on that part there? Like the last I heard was, Ron DeSantis is suing the CDC, and that's all I've heard. The last I've heard.
Yeah, today was a quiet day. I was surprised nothing else came out today. Yesterday had a little bit of noise. It scares me a little, this whole lawsuit things, because I just think they're making it political now. Both sides.
It's political. This whole thing's been political. I mean,
of course.
You can't tell me it's not. I mean,
actually.
No, I'm just wondering if they're going to start drawing lines in the sand type of political. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I'll put it like this: the last president really liked the cruise industry. Was really for it.
Yeah.
And the new president carries anything that president liked. So that's pretty much how life's been lately. It's been petty. So, I'm not saying names or anything because I'm middle of the road. I'm not one side or the other by any means.
Same here, TJ. I'm the same way.
It's all professional wrestling to me at this point. That's what I figured out in my life. But if one person likes it and the other person don't, that person's in power don't like it, it's going to cause issues because there's a reason why Disney, we could go out of the country to all these all-inclusive and stuff, and we can't go on shit. There's a reason for it somewhere that it's political, it's money.
Yeah. When are you going to Disney again? You must have a trip coming up, right?
Yeah, I'm under 60 days. We actually did our reservations on Wednesday. I'm at 57 days to be exact.
Well, now you want to go, Larry, huh?
Amanda and I were out today. We had a little breakfast down by the waterfront, and we were talking about that. And it was talking about how watching you guys doing all this travel stuff down there, and up here they're closing the doors, locking the windows, and anyway, it's. I'm not mad at America. I'm just annoyed with how our officials are dealing with things. They're not being transparent. They're not giving no explanation to saying other than what, you're locked down. Well, a lot of people aren't happy with that. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but they should have done. If they're going to be strict, they should have done it right from the get-go. Not be really lax in the beginning, and now all of a sudden they're putting, oh gosh, it's getting out of hand, and we got to do this. Well, a lot of people don't want to follow that. They don't, right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It's still going to happen. That's human behavior.
This is what was in the paper. This is online today. It was the only thing I've seen today. This is what I was asking you about, Larry. Did you see this?
No, I didn't see that, actually.
Oh, hold up. Didn't the CDC just say if you're vaccinated, you can go wherever the heck you want as long as you're all vaccinated? That contradicts what came out earlier this week from the CDC.
Yeah, what they're doing is, like I said, this just came out. I was reading it to Larry earlier. Supposedly, I don't know if you guys, can you guys see the writing on that screen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can see it clear as day. I'm just dumbfounded by this.
Well, they got another wave. I'm trying to think of what it was. Another wave or something's coming through level 4.
It's another variant. It's mutated again, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Basically like the flu, it mutates.
Right. So that's where they see
the problem is they're not clarifying things. That was like a huge blanket statement, I guess you would say, when they said you can go anywhere. It's not the case, because there's not everybody's welcoming Americans. So, you know, if I'm an American and hey, let's go to China or whatever, like I'm just making up a name. And if I'm not invited or I'm not allowed in the country, well, I'm going to get stopped. That's going to piss people off. So telling any American, if you're vaccinated, you can travel anywhere, that's, you know.
Well, that's the whole. Well, my thing is, if you're vaccinated, you made it through, you're showing the antibodies. I understand I should be traveling to Europe where pretty much everything like redos there, but why can't I go up to Canada and check it out, or go to Mexico without having any type of like stuff being shoved down my nose? I mean, my thing is with us in Canada, it makes 0 sense because we're attached. It's not like you guys are on anybody in. We just make it we got to drive it. Let's make it like that. Can't fly, but you got to drive it. Let's make it like that.
You can actually fly in, right? But you have to go through all these strict quarantine rules, right, Larry?
That's the way it is for us Canadians going down there. And then coming back, we have to follow the normal, get a negative test 3 days before, 3 days before you come, you have to get a negative test. When you get to Canada, you have to stay in a quarantine hotel and get tested again. You got to pay for it again here in Canada. You have to stay in a quarantine hotel for 3 days. If you're negative, you still got to go home and finish a 2-week, 11-day quarantine. If you're positive, then you got to go to a federal quarantine facility.
They just make it impossible to travel is what they're doing without telling you can't travel.
Exactly.
I'm wondering, this cruise, I think it's the middle of June, right? It's the cruise from the Bahamas, the first one?
June 12th, something like that.
June 12th.
Yeah. Adventures of the Sea out there. And then they got Visions of the Sea going down Bermuda right after that, which I want to do that cruise. Now they did the cruise line. I just hate Vision of the Sea that much.
Really?
That was my first cruise. It's one of the smallest ships, the smallest and oldest. It's from the 90s.
It's only 70,000 tons, right? Which is tiny by today's
standards. That would be like going on a cruise on Crystal or whatever.
Well, I'll put it like this: Canada and I felt like the youngest couple on the entire ship, and we're at the time we're both like 30. We were like 32.
Yeah.
That was the time I had the whole cruise. I'm like, how the heck am I one of the youngest couples here who's not being dragged here by like their parents? I mean, I like I tell you, I hated that cruise ship, but I liked cruising, the idea of cruising. That was Vista Carnival, that was chicken stuff. I love cruising now after going that shit, but Vision Sea is just there's something to do. That's the thing. There's just not a lot to do on the ship itself. So
I'm just craving travel in general.
Oh, I know
I've never been on a cruise ship, but I want to get out there and travel. Just get on an airplane or a bus or something.
Yeah,
like when you get out of country, it's the feeling. Oh, I'm going to the airport today, and I'm going to get on an airplane. I'm going to go to another country. And,
You still plan on going across the country, Larry? You by car? You were talking about possibly doing that.
So Dewey was mentioning his Route 66 adventure in 2023. I'm really thinking of that. Now, I was looking up prices for RVs. It's quite expensive.
Yeah.
What is it? $2,700. And this just was a mock booking. $2,700 for 17 days, I think it was. Did I calculate it?
Really? 27, 17? I wonder what that includes. That doesn't sound
That's
too
without
bad.
fuel.
The what?
That's without fuel.
Right.
And I drove from Brandon, Manitoba to British Columbia here in a 1-ton truck. And I must have gassed up 4 times from there.
Yeah.
That's like almost $200 back then. That was like $200 just to fill up the truck, right? So you're looking at probably another $1,000 to fill up the RV going across from Chicago to So the thoughts are maybe drive down the West Coast, because I've never been to Oregon. I've only been to Seattle. So down the Oregon coast, down to California, and then start at Santa Monica Pier, because I've already been there before, but my wife hasn't. So to start there and then go east and maybe go all the way to Chicago and then up through there up to Canada and back.
Where does 66 start? Is it up in Chicago? Route 66?
I don't know the official. Is it Pittsburgh?
I'm looking it up.
Because I know it ends in California at Santa Monica Pier. They have like
any idea how many miles it is?
Shop with all the license plates and all this saying.
It starts in Chicago. It ends in Santa Monica.
Have you been to Santa Monica Pier, John?
Starts Chicago and Santa Monica.
I've been.
No, I haven't been past Ohio.
Oh.
Furthest I've been out west is Crescent View, Colorado.
Oh wow. Santa Monica Pier. Oh. It's
how long did you get on there?
They get a carousel. Get to see all. Now I was there in September. I didn't get to see. I wish they all could be California. Dreaming of being a young kid from the East Coast. You think Pamela Anderson, although she's Canadian. Baywatch. But yeah, I got there in September and they didn't have all those beach girls there.
Yeah, you always hear the stories about California.
But to be honest, that was the first time I ever felt warm water. I've been in the Atlantic Ocean, I've been in the Pacific Ocean, but up in Canada, I've never been anywhere warm water. And when I went to California, it was September, and I couldn't believe how warm the water was. It wasn't like 80 degrees like in Mexico, but hey.
It was still warm. Welcome in Three Souls Paranormal. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, what do you got, DJ? What are you drinking?
Shinerbock Strawberry Blonde.
Oh, wow. Never heard of that.
It's a seasonal beer from Texas.
I'm doing my water. I have alcohol.
Mine's just diet soda.
Gotcha. That's nice.
I gave up soda 3 years ago.
You what?
I gave up soda 3 years ago, and I actually miss it. They were talking about Honey was saying like, what's your favorite pop and stuff, and they were naming all these pop, and I loved Sprite. I liked Coke when I drank, and Sprite was my favorite, and I would love to have a drink of Sprite, but it's not healthy for me.
Gotcha.
Now, is it say you had diet soda still bad for you?
No, I have diabetes, so it's my own mentally. I personally mentally cut myself off. We were going to the gym and everything, and I cut back on sugars and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I can drink it, John, because I have you heard of San Pellegrino?
I've heard the name. What is it?
Well, they have these. San Pellegrino is a water. It's usually in a green bottle with a yellow label and stuff like that. Well, they also have this other fruit flavored juices. They got orange one. They have blood orange one. They have lemon one, lemonata. It's an Italian drink, but it's basically equals soda, and I drink those once in a while. And Red Bull.
Oh, Red Bull, really? Yeah. That stuff I stay away from any of those high energy drinks.
Truthfully, it's the lesser of the two evils. I'm going through a lot of things, medical stuff, and the Red Bull is helping me to have the energy to go. Like, if I didn't take a Red Bull, I would be in bed right now having a nap. But it allows me to keep me going throughout the day and keeps me positive. But I have one. It's just 1 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. When I get up, I have a drink.
Yeah. My wife works for a doctor, and I heard that people who don't get the COVID vaccine, they will not be able to get their driver's license renewed.
That sounds a little drastic, although
I can see them.
Situation before.
Well, I hadn't heard that, but I could see them going that route. I haven't heard that yet.
So I mean, could be down the line, but nothing. I don't think anything like that's gonna happen.
I personally think that's a little drastic, forcing somebody to. Oh, hi, SMR.
Yeah, well,
forcing somebody.
that. You got people like one of my good friends. He can't get it because he's actually allergic to the solution that they distributed. So,
really,
yeah, he's allergic. Well, it's like people who are allergic to eggs. Can't get the flu
Right.
shot. He knows that because he had something that was in the solution already for that that's another vaccine, and he almost died. So he's like,
Wow.
he can't. So that's why they're still trying to get more vaccines to make one that doesn't have the solution that
Right.
they distribute with. So
have you and Kale gotten your shot yet?
oh yeah, we both got done last week. No, 2 weeks ago.
Didn't you share photos of that?
Huh?
Didn't you share photos of you?
No,
guys?
I didn't share photos of mine. I wasn't there.
Sharing that you got you.
Yeah, I shared. I will say I got it.
Yeah,
but,
I remember seeing something. You and
Kayla. I got Pfizer. She got Moderna. Second shot for me. Arm was a little sore. Had bad headache all day. Real tired. I don't nap really that much. I took a 4-hour nap that Sunday.
That's what I hear.
That is very interesting that you said you got one and she got the other. Like here, you take what you get.
Well, the reason why we both took different ones is because I went to a different hospital than her. My job sent me to Our Lady of the Lake. Her job sent me to the hospital.
Okay, all right.
Have you found that it's helped or hurt you at all having the vaccine? Have you needed to tell anyone you have it, like when you go to Disney or anything like that?
No, but it really helped out with what my job is, which is doing public auctions for the city.
Okay.
I just do a pickup where I deal with a bunch of people in St. I deal with people up in upstate New York. I had a couple people from Virginia, a couple people from New Jersey, a couple people from Pennsylvania. And just knowing the fact that these people are coming in and I'm not as worried as I was last time because even though, we have a mask mandate, it's like, okay, I should be good if I have to touch anything they touch.
Right.
It's basically more of a peace of mind now. It's like, it's also if they're uneasy because like, look, I'm vaxxed, dude. I'm good. I'm hashtag Team Pfizer.
It reminds me of these TikTok videos. Somebody walking down the street. Yeah, I got mine.
That's right. Did they close you down at all, TJ? Back when it was peaking?
Oh yeah, shoot. We were. My job is essential, so I still had to go into work once. I had to go into my office once a week, but I got to work from home a couple more days. But I was actually the day we went to lockdown here was the day I started pickup for an auction that we made a ton of money on, and I had to finish it. It took 4 months to get 30 cars out because of all the restrictions that we had in our state and other states getting couriers. It was a mess. But yeah, we were shut down, I think, from March. I don't think we had we'd have everybody back until July.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was only going into the office every Wednesday to go deal with some warehouse stuff. I was working from home. Kayla, of course, teacher, worked from home. It was nice the first 3 weeks. Then it was like, I hate this. I miss
Right. I hear you. I'm trying to read this thing from Mark to wrap my head around this. Stephanie got her first shot on 3:30 and then got sick Wednesday and tested positive. So between shots, right? You guys reading that the same way I am?
Yeah, you can still get it after the first shot. You can always still get it, but after the first shot, it's more like a booster for the second shot.
Okay, you know what I'm getting out of this reading right now, and the way you guys are talking, it's really annoying when you hear, because here in Canada, they make it look like there's like billions of people. That's just the way they act, like there's billions of people dying from it. But I notice a lot of people, when they're talking about somebody getting it, it's not as drastic, and that's what's causing a lot of people to get angry. Is it that dangerous? We don't know. We hear people saying yes, and we hear people saying no.
Here's one thing I figured out about it, and just seeing it from my family who's got it. It attacks your immune. Whenever your immune system is the weakest, that's what it attacks.
I'm 50 in diabetes, but I can't get my vaccine until at the end of May.
Here's the crazy thing. In my state, they just made it last week. 16 up could get it. Period. No, nothing else. At first was just pretty much doctors, nurses, first line. They put a central pool. That's when Kay and I got ours. But, it's weird how every state's different. Because, John, have you had yours yet? Or you plan on getting yours?
I just got my second one yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Which one did you get?
Pfizer.
Okay, so you got.
But it was funny. The nurse who gave it to me, for some reason, I was rambling on with her, and she said to me when we were talking, she goes, "Well, they don't know this, they don't know that. The one thing you can get from it is you're not going to die now." And she said that blunt, which that's supposedly the big play is that you're protected from that, I guess.
Right. Well,
John, I'm just going to step out for 2 seconds. My daughter's calling me, and I need to.
Okay.
Call.
Gotcha.
I'm not leaving. I'm just stepping out for a second.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, TJ, I noticed you're wearing the team colors, huh?
Yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Re-signed all 22, so you get AB re-signed, but I had to go out and do some stuff. So I always rock my team to make the Saints fans feel bad.
Why the Saints?
I live in Louisiana.
The what? Say that one more time.
I live in Louisiana. We're rivals.
Oh, okay. You just mean for the fact that one team being better than the other. I thought maybe they took, like, if you said the Patriots, I would understand that because Brady's down there.
The fact that we ended Drew Brees' career is just like a salt in the wound.
Yeah,
and the fact that their new starting quarterback is Jameis Winston, which is the guy we had to get rid of to get Tom. So, yeah, it's a little bad blood right now.
Yeah, I never thought of that part. What's the shirt you have? Is it a Super Bowl shirt?
It says Brady Bunch.
Oh,
my dad got while he was while he was staying in Florida before he came back. So that's good.
Did they sign everyone? It looked like they signed everyone.
Everyone, all 22. The first Super Bowl team since 1977 that signed all 22 starters back for to come back. We only have one player to bring back, and that's Antonio Brown.
And he'll come crawling in there.
Well, he don't want to play for. Well, he wants to catch passes from Tom Brady. That's the thing. So it's just working out the money portion right now. So, but he's a luxury because we already got so many Pro Bowl talent players at receiver. We got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk, OJ Howard, Cam Brate. I mean, we got receivers out the yin yang. We had Scotty, little Scooter, little speed receiver. I mean, he's just a luxury at this point. So it's like, will we like him? Yes, but at the same time, do we really need him?
No, you don't. But and that's how they'll get him on the team on the cheap. You know what I mean? They'll sell him. Hey, you want another Super Bowl? You know what I mean? That type of deal. Because you're right. There's only one ball, so there's only so much you can throw that thing around.
Exactly. I've been focused on that because the draft comes up in a couple weeks, and between that and watching LSU. Pretty much they got a brand new coaching staff, so watching them do what they do has been kind of irritating lately. And just working on my Disney stuff. That was a eye opener on Wednesday morning now, doing those reservations.
Oh, okay. So what was different?
Well, here's what happened. They open up at 6 a.m. and those are always 6 days out, and they're still doing, even though most rest of Florida, like restaurants are 100% capacity, no mask. They're still doing limited capacity at all Disney restaurants. So Kayla and I are both in here. I was at the computer. She was on the phone on the app, on the Disney My Experience app. Let's put it like this. They tell you this. Either the computer works very well or the app works very well. Depending what day it is. It's hit or miss. Well, out of the 11 reservations we made, 2 were made on the computer. She got the other 9 because she was sick. I couldn't.
What is the capacity right now?
35.
Oh, it's still down that low. Okay.
No, they're still keeping it low right now. The county they're in, which is Orange County, is still the only county in Florida that's really doing mask right now. That's making it mandatory. A bunch of, like where I grew up in Hillsborough County, they don't have mask policies there anymore.
So that's not a Disney thing then. I was thinking it was Disney. It's the actual county.
Disney does it itself because again, private property, you can do whatever the heck you want with private property, make whatever rules as long as they're within the federal law. But the sales being county by county, and of course, the last thing the state wants is to make their cash cow close down, which is Disney right now. That's basically funding the entire state at the moment. So,
right. Well, that Universal must be a big part too, right?
Oh yeah, Orlando. You got to remember, Florida's a state where 80% of their state income is from tourism.
Yeah.
So,
I'm curious what's going to happen to Alaska.
Well, that's going to be, especially if the Keystone is shut down.
I wonder what point they have to know before they, just shut it down for the year.
I don't know. Let's get all.
Me personally, I think if they're doing the vaccine, just keep doing what they're doing. Eventually, it'll stop.
Well, that's the thing, right? It just goes back and forth and back and forth. Nothing gets solved anyway. So
it's different from in the beginning. In the beginning, nobody was vaccinated, and then you start losing people. But now the vaccine's out. So I'm not saying run rampant and act like nothing's ever happening, back to normal. But you don't need these restrictions going back. It's numbers are doing their thing. It's mathematical.
In our country, we see it being more uniform because there's some states that are doing awesome. Like right now, we're doing awesome. Our numbers, we're 2 days ago, we had 0 for the day. We haven't had 0 since it started in our entire state. 0 cases.
Yeah, right.
You have Minnesota that's having 7,000 cases a day still. So
really,
yeah, I was reading on Yahoo this morning, they're having some major issues up there because their numbers are still sky high.
Are you talking about the state of Louisiana had 0?
We had a day as last week. We had 0 on one day.
They claim
what is the population of Louisiana then? I assume it's bigger than us.
Let me see. I'll pull it up because we're an oil state.
They claim, Larry, that 5 states are getting 44% of the virus. So
we average about 2 to 4 deaths a day.
Deaths, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're breaking records at, what is it? The last one was 1,200 and something, almost 1,300 cases.
Let's see. We got 4.6 million live in Louisiana.
Mark is saying that Michigan's getting hard hit. So the ones that are getting hard hit are Florida. It must be Michigan. What did you say, Dakota? Minnesota. What were the other 2? I'm trying to think of the other 2. They weren't California and Texas, which surprised me.
Surprised Texas. Really surprised Texas, but
I really like to know how you can have 4 million people, whereas us, we have, I think, in the whole of BC, sorry, I heard this earlier, 5 million, okay? But still, 0 cases. And everybody in the beginning, you heard, "Oh, America's this. They're getting crazy," and all that kind of stuff about well, it's mainly because of Florida, what we are hearing in Florida.
Right.
But how are we getting 1,000 cases a day still? I really like to know.
We've been under 1,000 for I think 3 weeks now. We've been under that number, and it's just one thing. Our governor, as weird as it sounds, we're a blue state in the South, which is awkward, which is weird. But he has made it where now, vaccines 16 and up, no regulation after that. As long as you're over the age of 16, and he's really been pushing for because the Pfizer vaccine could actually do a test that could possibly be used on kids younger, all the way down to 10 years old. So next thing we'll be trying to get the kids vaccinated too. So and a lot of people here be getting vaccinated. There's not the the ignorance or the conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, those are everywhere.
It's all part of life. You gotta have those in your.
Dude, I just got done watching, I think on HBO, about QAnon, and just been laughing my balls off for the last 3 days watching it because they were talking about the whole stuff with the vaccine and all the.
They're in every community.
I know. We have a friend who was at the Capitol when that all went down.
Really? He was involved in it, or just kind of watching?
Careful what you say.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm joking with this, TJ, but there's a very popular channel.
Like I told him, I know you're probably on the list now that you probably didn't need to be on. So, because he posted a picture there, and I was like, I'm just gonna unfollow you for a minute.
TJ, where's Trenton Alley?
Huh?
They're Trenton Alley. They're from our van life. they're in that kind of a community.
Yeah.
They got a pretty big channel right now. They're building a house in Utah, and they were just investigated. Somebody had reported on their channel in the chat that they were saying that they were at the Capitol in January.
Really?
They weren't. It was based off of facial recognition.
Wow, that's wild.
I don't. That's why I was thinking politics before or anything like that.
Yeah, TJ, did you say there was 0 deaths or 0 cases in New Orleans?
A day of 0 cases.
Okay, Mark was just saying Michigan had 7,000 today.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Yeah,
like where are these numbers coming from?
Well, just people who go in and take, the tests. Everything's reported.
Ours, it's the major. See, in my state, you pretty much have 3. You have the city hospitals, which are all called generals. Then you have Oxford, then you have Our Lady of the Lake. Those are the 3 main hospital states. Those are the ones all doing our numbers for the entire state. So that's how that's who's generating our numbers here. And we just, like I said, I'll put it like this. I was driving back City Hall this week, and I kind of was thinking, okay, last year at this time was when all hell was breaking loose with all this, the but it just looking at people now, like everybody I know wears their mask, or at least wears it when they go out. I have friends who are anti-mask, but hey, their job tells them you wear a mask or else. They all like money, so they still wear it. Most people wear their masks. Most people are getting vaccinated, and it's just, people here are actually knowing that.
N95.
I mean, I don't know why some of these places are having high numbers. It's just wear a mask and shot. I mean, you've had multiple shots in your life before, and hopefully they make it where you can, get it done early.
Welcome in, Hashish Fire Lord. Thank you for joining us.
Cool name.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, it's amazing some of the names you see in the chat, aren't there?
Oh, yeah. I feel bad. Well, that's one thing I miss having Kayla with me all the time, because of her being a teacher, she can know the names. So
yeah, right.
People better than me.
Now, is she home? She in bed or what?
Yeah, well, she's home. We got right now. We have a friend of ours who's moving to Texas. They have sold their house. She's a teacher, friend of Kayla. She's staying with us right now. So they're actually in there working on some school stuff, because they're finishing up spring break tomorrow. So they're right now doing lesson plans for this coming week.
Okay.
So, but yeah, she's been off all week and pretty much been her and Sev here, and I've been at work doing the auction pickup. So,
is your dog not cute anymore? Is it grown up now? I
haven't seen any videos. He is almost 30 pounds.
Oh, wow.
He just got the big last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why.
Poor boy.
He's been very nice. Well, here's the thing. We weren't allowed to play. He loves playing fetch. He loves playing. He's a hyper-ass dog. But I had to refrain from that all week. So that's why I haven't filmed him anytime lately, because it's just been trying to keep him calm, not running around. But he's just a ball full of energy. So that's why I haven't really filmed him. He's still cute as a bug, but he's just, we just got the go-ahead today where he could actually start playing and run again. And, of course, we've had bad weather all day.
Did you film the snip? That would be a great one. That could go viral.
No, actually, they're not allowing you to go in veterinary offices right now. So everything's at the vet.
Well, that's interesting.
So, when he got his surgery, I dropped off in the morning at 8 o'clock. I went back at 4 o'clock, picked him up.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, though. You don't want to be around before Thanksgiving.
No.
So where is he right now? Is he in the room?
He's in the living room right now. Kayla and pretty much our roommate right now.
Pretty quiet. Normally,
very quiet.
Last few times I've seen you, he's been running, jumping.
We use some of that good STEMI money to build a fence in our backyard. So now we can, when we leave and stuff, instead of him being in a cage all day, so we really can't trust him without tearing up our house, because he's our pit. We can put him outside. He can go play out there. He's got water, food, so he's actually, when we get home at night, he goes to bed better. He's been whatever. He's a quiet dog. You always have really barks when you have to go to the bathroom.
Mm.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, she has 2 Dobermans. They bark at everything. Like they don't, how do I say it? I slept in the basement, and my wife sleeps in the second bedroom. And I coming up from the basement, the dog, the female, will bark every single time I come up. Or my wife comes out of the bedroom to go to the washroom. Same thing, bark.
He's really not
Our
yelling.
dog. No, I haven't heard yours bark at all.
No, he's quiet. I mean, like I said, if he has to go to the bathroom, if he wants to play, he'll bark. But like you hit our doorbell, he just runs to the door. He'll bark. You just hear his glute butt run over there and stumble. But he's a good dog. I mean, I've noticed people have some of his some other dogs from his litter, and they're heathen demons. But we got a good one.
We saw a little baby pitty. Well, it had the pit bull colors. I don't know what it's a certain type of pit bull. Like it's brown with like black patches, I think.
Like a red one?
Kind of, yeah.
No.
Yeah. But it had the French bulldog face, pit bull colors, but it had what do you call it? It looked like corgi in them, like because it was long. It looked weird.
Well, we got Sev is pug, terrier, and pit, but he's got a lot of the pit. Like when he stands, like I'm trying to I never get the right photo, but if he's just sitting with his chest pronounced, like you see the pit in his chest, like he's ripped already, even at just being 4 months. And you know, you can definitely see his head. He's got that pit outline in his skull, and he's loved. I mean,
no, I see pit bull in your. I have a dog phobia, by the way.
Really?
Amazingly, what do you call it? Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer, has helped me. He had a pit bull, and that helped me. The reason why I'm saying this, I lived in a house, and upstairs they were drug dealers, and they had a mother pit bull, and they had 2 young ones. And they used to bring the dog across the street, and I can look out my window because I was on the bottom level, and they would make it jump up into a tree and grab onto the branch and just swing around. It's like, and they had baseball bats, and it was nasty. Like, but what really did is because I'm a cat lover, and one of my kittens got out in the hallway, and his dog got out in the hallway, and I don't want to go into graphic detail, but I ended up having to say they gave me another cat. And so, but it was all based on media, like everybody's saying. My fear of pit bulls is, but I love them. By the way, I love animals. I'm an animal lover.
Well, it's like we were having this conversation earlier today, and I was like, I've been bit more by chihuahuas, poodles, small corgis, stuff like that. Than every pit I've met has been chill. I mean, some of the nicest dogs ever. So.
But the problem for me, TJ, when I was 3 years old, a German Shepherd had me in his mouth on my arm and dragged me up the street when I was 3 years old. So of course it's a mental thing. It's all. My mother-in-law's dogs has taught me a lot about my fear.
Right.
If I can't read something, then I get scared, and then they fear it. They see it, right? It's not their fault. I just can't. I don't understand their language, their body language, so I can't read them, and I get a little nervous. And then they see that they jump on that. But it's my own
Larry, you better behave yourself.
Hey.
The Juma, thanks for coming up.
Hey, the Juma, what's up?
Hi, Najuma. I'm being good.
Hi, Larry. No, you're not.
Don't give her blue, John. Do not turn her blue. She will block me. Oh, is that your granddaughter? Is that your granddaughter?
I don't know what you saying. Because I got one behind me and the oldest one just left the room.
Oh, I was just saying hi.
You say hi. Say hi.
Hey.
You don't want to say hi.
She's the one that wants to go on the cruise with you?
No, the one that wants to go on the cruise with me is my husband's granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
I have that one. I have I have custody of her.
So are you coming on the cruise with me, Najuma and John?
I don't know, because it dawned on me last week that the same granddaughter's turning 16 next year.
Well, what a
So I
nice
don't know.
gift.
Sweet 16.
That's right.
She said she wanted a party, so I don't know if I can do a party and a cruise.
You can party on a cruise. I know I am.
That's what I say, but
Oh,
you know, kids.
293 days.
So I don't know. I got to figure it out.
Wait, no, sorry. That was my first cruise. No.
It's gonna be
500.
more than that, Larry.
Yeah, sorry. My apologies. It is 552 days, 13 hours, 7 minutes, and 58 seconds.
Are you seriously thinking of going to Juma?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
That'd be great.
I just kind of have to try to figure out my funds because I'm not working right now.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean,
You come on a cruise, and the first drink's on me. For you.
that should save it then, right?
I know, right?
One drink.
I don't know. I got to make a decision.
J&N,
I'll figure it out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you got plenty of time.
And no pressure, Najuma. If you don't, you can't. That's okay.
Yeah.
We just want you to be there. And I would feel really special if you did.
Steve, they want us to go on the cruise. Larry said he wants to come on the cruise.
Yeah.
She's looking at me and laughing at me, Larry.
She's 16. No, I was going to say I'd buy her a drink, but she's 16 now. A little too early.
What I would do to June was work a deal out that Larry's got to keep an eye on the 16-year-old, and you can go off and have a little fun.
No, what don't they have that? What do you call it on Carnival?
No, Steve. No, you have to babysit.
Yeah.
You want me to come on a cruise? You have to babysit. I'm just saying.
Seems only fair.
We're not as active people as some might think. So, if we're sitting at the beach, we can hang out on the beach.
Quiet. She's quiet.
She's a quiet one. So is my wife. So there you go.
You can sit and play cards with her.
Cards?
Cards.
I'm on a cruise. I'm not going to play cards on a cruise.
Well, you guys are quiet, so that's the thing. TJ, do you have a book? Do you have any cruises booked, or you just got the Disney stuff all lined up right now?
I do have one in November that at this point won't happen, will it not? But Harvey the Seas book, but I'm not crossed. I just feel like this. I already got Plan B lined up.
Yeah.
We'll go back to Disney or something. But
I'm going to say he's got a Disney one in there.
Well, I got Disney in June, but I mean, I got Harvey the Seas Royal Caribbean in November. It's just, at this point, like, will it happen? Will it not? Yeah. And I'm just not getting my hopes up anymore until we get a definite. I'm just not going to deal with that disappointment anymore. I'm just going to be like, I got other things I can go visit in the States.
Till something goes out into the ocean. Is you saying June of this year or next year?
What for
Disney?
June 6th of this year. I'm going to Disney.
Oh no, I thought you said Disney cruise.
So
okay.
you'll be there during my anniversary.
I got Royal Caribbean, and I don't have any Disney cruise, but I have Royal Caribbean booked in November. But still,
is that the ship you don't like?
No, I got Harvey. No, I got a Oasis class. I got Harvey the Sea booked for that.
Oh, that's nice. I want to do one of those.
So.
Is the Oasis class, is that the biggest for Royal?
That's the biggest class, yes.
Okay,
yeah. The
Oasis at the Seas. I can't remember them all.
I think it's Oasis, Symphony, and Harvey. If I'm not mistaken.
So, Juma, this would be your first cruise, right?
Yes.
So, Larry, neither the two of you are cruise virgins, huh?
Sir, I'm actually. I was saying last night, I'm actually working on trying to get onto the Vloggers Cruise in 2023 as well.
Oh, and the Allure.
Oh, Allure. There's the Allure, yes.
Hey, John, thanks for having me. I'm going to step out. I got some stuff I need to handle real quick, so I'll catch y'all later.
See you, TJ. Have a good one.
Bye, TJ.
Thank you very much for joining us, TJ.
Bye.
Here we go. Bye-bye. Okay. Let me put my So Larry, you would be so by the cruise of next fall. You would, if everything goes okay, you'll be on one before then.
Yeah, January. Yeah.
Correct.
January 29th, 2022.
So you
and October 15th till the October 23. And then I'm trying to do the Vloggers Cruise, which is January 29th, 2023.
I go both ways on that Vloggers Cruise. You know, it looks like it'd be a lot of fun, but then it looks like, can you imagine everyone on the ship, just everyone's with cameras? I don't know
I'm looking
how
at
much one-on-one
I'm
time you get
looking
with
from
people.
a business point of view, Sean.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, if you look from that point of view, you're right.
I'm also mainly I'm looking at as like friend community, all that. But it is a business opportunity as well. I see a lot of people going. Everybody in the who's who in the community, if you could say it that way.
No, you're right. I mean, you're right about that.
And I think it's because a lot of channels, they're on what's it called? Where we met. What's it called? Marco Polo.
Oh, okay. I was trying to think of what you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
that's how we met, is on Marco Polo, John.
Right. No, absolutely.
But I don't use Marco Polo anymore. And so I'm not really, other than going on someone's lives or watching videos, I'm not really, I don't feel that sense of community. I do, but I'm not as connected as if I was on that Marco Polo. When you're on Marco Polo, you're hanging out with friends.
Right.
Right. Like here, I feel like you're my friend and Najuma and stuff, but it's not the same as Marco Polo, where you can let your socks down and all that kind of stuff and let your hair down. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
Well, socks is fine, but
yeah, you can break loose and talk and be yourself in Marco Polo, whereas here it's a little different. We gotta, still gotta put on a professional somewhere.
Right. Well, Marco Polo's gets tough too. Every time I look on it, there's 300 messages, and so I'm always skipping ahead. So you kind of miss the whole gist of the whole thing.
Have you ever tried Marco Polo, Najuma?
A couple of years ago, I was doing it with my my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Because her and my brother live in North Carolina, but we kind of got away from it.
I got away from it when they started charging for it, and it's like, no. And then they took away the 2 times. If I had that 2 times, I think I would be back on, John, because I can skip through those. You know
See,
what I mean?
we still have that down there. I don't understand why they took that away from. Is it because it's Canada?
No idea.
Because I don't pay, and I have the 2 times still on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not paying, John?
No, I mean, they have no information.
I actually have it installed on my phone. I just don't use it. Where is it? Let me see. Mark, there it is right there. Marco Polo, right there. I'm gonna see. Get started. Oh no, this was on my new phone. No, I'm not. Too much to do. I have to reset it up and go back in. And
we got 3 in there: 400 messages, 600 messages, 500 messages.
Somebody shared a screenshot of theirs, and there was like 1,000 something. It's like.
Yeah, but it doesn't take much time to add up. No. And this is only a few days.
Yeah. Well, because you're limited on how long the message is, really. When I was with KC, it'd be a long-winded, 2-sided conversation, but like a 10-second or 5-minute message, and then you stop, and then they read it, and then it's 5 minutes. Right. Whereas most people, they'll 2 seconds there. 2 seconds there, 2 seconds, and that builds up a lot of messages, right?
Right, exactly. Welcome in Adventures with Millie. Yeah, that's a tough thing too. If you are going back and forth like 5 minutes at a time, you're waiting forever for them to finish theirs.
And that's why it's hard to stay in the conversations that way, right? Now, what I did notice is that you can skip messages without listening to them. Like I can go to the very end and just start.
Yeah, that you can do. I'm looking at it now to see the 2-time thing.
But you don't get the whole context of the conversations going on.
Right. If you skip in.
Hello.
That's not for me.
Hello.
Yeah, see, it's got this thing that's it's got the thing which you can go ahead 10 seconds, so you can keep hitting that, or go back 5 seconds.
But like I said, I'm noticing that it creates this really great community. It's like you're hanging out with friends,
right?
And I'm noticing everybody's getting closer that way. I see it, and I'm kind of feeling not in a sad way or not in a bad way, but it's sad that like I want to, but it's tough for me to get into this Marco Polo. But I see everybody's doing it, and every live feed you hear somebody talk about Marco Polo.
Well, it's like these trips, a lot of people go into different places, islands and stuff, and you kind of feel a little left out of the whole thing because they get that bonding going on,
Yeah, it's like with your Facebook group used to be that way. That's how you socialized, it was through your Facebook groups, but now it's gone to Marco Polo.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
And there'll be some other social media that will take over both. You know that.
Yeah. What is it? Oh, it's like 9 o'clock there, is it? Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. No, wait.
See ya.
Yeah.
It's 9 here. Yeah, it's 9 here. Nice and early.
6 p.m. here.
It's like 6 o'clock there.
And it's still sunny out.
What was your temperature today?
It was there was actually frost on our car this morning.
Really?
It is. Excuse me for looking this way. Oh, not that one. I don't want Oslo. I want Powell River weather. Here we go. It is right now. I got to put it back over to Fahrenheit. It is 48, feels like 43.
Right now. Earlier, though, it was cold, too, you said, right?
In the morning, it would have been down in the 30s, low 30s this morning.
Okay. See, we've been warm today.
No, it's sunny out, and it's just windy.
Right.
You ever want to see what's going on here, John? I shared a link in my Facebook group. If you're ever interested, it is the live 24-hour live webcam of Powell River, looking out into the water towards Vancouver Island.
Right.
I love looking at this. I love it. I have a nap in the afternoon, and when I wake up, I can see, oh, this is what it looks like outside. It's like on a ship. When you're on a cruise ship, you get that live. Well, it's basically the same way.
Yeah, it's funny. I talked to this guy, online that I met on a cruise. Actually, he's from Toronto area. He was telling me this morning that he's got his appointment set up for his thing, but they're 4 months apart. The end of April is the first one. The other one's in August.
I'm 50 with diabetes. We're still only in phase 3. They just announced 60-year-olds this morning. They're doing 60s. 60-year-olds can make an appointment. And then and they're going down in 5-year increments. But now you can't say every week because, there might be only X amount of 70-year-olds, X amount of 80-year-olds, right? Do you know what I mean? And they're saying that they're ahead right now, but they're saying 50-year-olds because I'm classified as a normal 50-year-old. Even though I have diabetes and that's a immune compromise or whatever it's called.
Right.
It's only diabetics who are using insulin. I'm on pills. I only take pills, right?
Welcome back, Najuma.
Welcome back, Najuma. So yeah, if I was 50 and taking insulin, then I can get the shot. But since I only take pills, I have to wait until the end of May.
That seems a little ridiculous.
It might be a little earlier because they're at 60 and I'm 50 and they're going down in 5-year increments. So I might be back by the 1st of May.
Do you have a shortage?
It's the
of
first month.
vaccines?
And it's actually 4 months in between.
Did you get your vaccine, or are you going to get your vaccine?
She's too young.
No, I haven't gotten it yet. I actually have a doctor's appointment on Thursday because I take blood pressure medicine and I
Right.
need refills, and he won't see me without coming in.
Really?
So
Wow.
I'm going to find out Thursday. They probably want me to get it because I also have COPD
Right.
and I'm almost 58. So,
Oh wow.
Still a young
Okay.
girl.
Very young.
Young and
But in New York, I mean, they're down to like kids now, right? Giving out the vaccine.
yeah, they
16
just
and over or
started
something.
that. I think they just started that this week.
Yeah.
And then I
Okay.
read something where they're looking to possibly include kids 12 to 14 soon.
Wow. Okay. I hadn't heard that at all.
I have a question. Are they using any pharmacies to give this out?
Some
Here in New
states.
York?
Yeah, in New York.
I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm going to find out. I don't know if I want to find out because I use CVS here on Long Island.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't, if I'm going to get it, I'd rather get it from my doctor. Not that I don't trust the pharmacy, but I'd rather my doctor give it to me.
Well, that'd be great if the doctor would. My doctor wouldn't do it.
Would you let me give you the shot? There's a reason why I'm saying that to Juma. I used to take testosterone shots. I used to inject, not myself, but Nanda used to do it every week. But we also take these things called Toradol. They're shots, intramuscular shots. So we give ourselves each shot. You know what I mean? And so I'm used to being able to do it. And there's no reason why somebody can't be trained properly and give the vaccine. Because, Ben and David, the UK cruise channel, John?
Yep.
Excuse me. They do that. They volunteered to give vaccine.
Oh, really?
Right? And I keep actually putting this on Twitter. Like, why can't they do this here to get it? Because we're behind in Canada. Why can't they train people to get in there, get these vaccines into people instead of making excuses and waiting?
But are you behind because of a shortage of the vaccine or a shortage of people who give the vaccine?
That's what I'm hearing, John. But I don't understand the shortages part, because you hear certain numbers. We're going to have this X amount by this time. Today they announced that we were at 1 million. Was it 1 million vaccinated? 87,000 on dose number 2 in our province, just in our province alone.
So what percentage is that?
They were saying 2%.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. See, there's some weird. I think it's. I want
The
to say
reason why it says 2%
just a shortage because they're talking about actually.
fully vaccinated. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes,
Right.
there's 1 million people that's got the first dose, but that doesn't mean they're vaccinated. They're not, whatever the words it's called, right? So
Right.
that's why. Yeah, we're at 87,000 people that just had their second shot
Wow. Okay.
out of 5 million.
Hey, welcome in, Sherboon 87. Thank you for jumping in on that, Sarah. Yeah, and that's the weird part because you're talking 2%. I thought they said we were at like 44% or something like that, and we could hit that herd immunity by July and possibly even by June. So that's what
Amanda and I were sitting there this morning and we were trying to figure out, like, what is going on? Like, what's the rational thinking behind how all this is going on? Why all this, like, why are we behind? If you're saying we're behind, well, get other people. And I don't think it's a matter of not enough vaccines, because I remember Canada was promised 20 million doses.
Yeah,
right?
if they
At
if
one
they,
point, and then I heard that there was another number. I can't remember all the numbers that were saying. So yeah, I don't get it.
no, and I'd be frustrated too. A lot of these countries would be very frustrated. Is the UK that they're going to open up cruising like very soon? Was that the one that was in the news this week? And then
Oh,
Sean,
UK, yeah, UK's
yeah,
starting their cruising, yeah.
and then I guess Australia, and New Zealand have a
Norwegian.
kind of a bubble.
No, I think it's Norwegian going out of the UK. Oh, they got a really cool itinerary I was showing Ananda that I want to go. No, that was Celebrity. Was it Celebrity or Norwegian? Either or. I was watching a webinar and the Greek island itinerary. Good price too, by the way.
Yeah, you know they kill you as a flight though, right?
No, this included flights.
It did include flights, but you just have to go through the old quarantine when you get back. That's where you lose all your money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Although there was an article, somebody saying that because of all the vaccines, they should at least get rid of the most recent quarantine thing that they put into place, like the 3 days and all that kind of stuff in a hotel.
Right.
Let people go back to their homes and quarantine in their house. At least that, right? And
Right.
I haven't heard anything.
Well, that's where all the contradiction comes in. It's like you're saying, if vaccines are that effective, you should be able to cut a lot of those protocols out, right? You would think.
For me, the whole issue that I'm having with it is the transparency. They're just saying this is it. My experts are saying this, but the experts are totally different than other places around the world. So, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody's on that same page. So it
Right.
makes you think, well, okay, if John's state is doing it this way and Najuma's state's doing it this way, how are you going to trust all this information coming at you, right? And so
Right.
I'd be okay if they gave me the rational explanation to why John's state is doing this because of ABC and Najuma's state's doing this because of ABC. I'll be fine with it, but they're not. They're just giving you the orders to saying, you know what, restaurants are shut down, no in-person service, church services.
Right.
Which some of the churches are actually defying the orders and having in-person services and being charged. Sorry about this. My leg's got a kink in it.
No, but you're right. There's a lot of me and my mother get on the phone. We talk about that, how frustrating it is just trying to get the rules straight.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
I'm trying to get comfortable in my chair. I got a kink in my leg and it's hurting.
you got to stand up and stretch.
No, I'm good. There we're good.
Okay.
I had my leg wrapped around my tripod.
Is that the room you use to do your
Yeah,
I'm
still trying to set it up. I got a bunch of stuff on this table that I'm going to be setting up different, but I'm waiting to get a new computer desk. As you can see there, I have an L-shaped desk, and I don't want it anymore. I had this desk for making music, and it was great because I can put my 2 keyboards on there. Right. I'm not doing music. I just want this in the studio. I want one 72-inch computer desk. And once I get that, then everything's going to go into place and have it all set up. And I'm actually going to switch from there to there.
Are you doing the camera off your laptop, or do you have a separate camera?
No, it's a webcam.
Okay.
This webcam usually is on my screen, but it's too wide of an angle, and it was just showing too much. And so I decided, hey, I'm going to try it on my tripod that I got here, and I actually like the angle.
And you said you got a new microphone, right? But you haven't used it yet?
I have 2. I bought 2 microphones, and they're basically the same as down at a cruise ship, Sean and Alana. Excuse me, I bought them from Amazon, and it was actually the boom mic, or the boom stand, the microphone, a pop filter, the XLR cable. I think that's it. All in one for $35 each. So I bought 2.
Is it hard to hook those up, or is it just a matter of plugging them in?
Well, I have a sound card, John. or the other name is an audio interface. So I have a box.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not seeing this. I have a box that is USB powered. So it goes from the box into my computer, and then I take these XLR cables like you see in any other concert venue or whatever, and I'll plug it into this box, the microphone, and then it powers the microphone because you need power to do any microphone, right?
Yeah.
And so I just haven't set them up yet. Where is it?
And then Juba, you use your cell phone, right, when you're doing this?
Yes.
Right now, I'm using my webcam.
No, I mean Majuma though. I think she used her cell phone.
Yeah, you can tell she's using the cell phone.
Yes, John. I'm sorry.
Because I would like to get to the point with a cell phone where you can actually, well, like you use it, Larry, when you go to the ferry and stuff.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to do lives just on your phone.
Well, I think in a couple of weeks I'm going to be buying another system, John.
The whole thing?
I have. Where's my gimbal? It's not. Oh, it's already packed up. I have a gimbal and a cell phone, which is fine, like for most people, but for me, I'm just finding it too annoying having to take that gimbal out, set everything up, plus people trying to get a hold of you while you're making phone calls. Yes, you can put it on airplane mode and do not disturb, but I don't want that. I want it my own separate camera besides using my big DSLR camera, right? I can video with this.
Right.
That's too big. So what I'm thinking about is either a GoPro or the DJI 2 Mini, the Mini, DJI Mini 2. Small little webcams. It's on a gimbal and a small little camera. It's discreet. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
I'm one of those.
Yeah, I actually bought two of those, which is a knockoff of a GoPro. It looks like it, but it was, of course, the difference was I think it was $60 opposed to what's a GoPro's 300, right?
Well, the one I'm going after the 9.
900.
No, the GoPro 9. I can go for the 8, which is so right now. GoPro, the site itself, has a GoPro 9 with the handle, the card, and one extra battery for $399.
Okay.
Which is $500 Canadian.
All right.
But for you, it's $399.
Yeah.
You get it cheaper. Anyway, so that's what I'm getting next payday.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's what I'm going to use because it's small. Either the DJI Mini 2, whatever it's called, I can't remember the name of it, or the GoPro. They both can do underwater, so it's a multi-function camera. I'm going to try that. But like I said, I have the gimbal. Like I showed you the gimbal before with my cell phone, and I've done that. And I've even done it with, walking around, taking video. And actually, this is a new phone. Ironically, I don't understand how it worked. I was paying a certain amount per month.
Yeah.
I pay monthly for a 2-year contract to pay off the phone.
Yeah.
Well, it was $80 something per month for the phone and in my plan. Well, they offered an upgrade for a new phone, so my old phone was an A70. This is an A71, which is a better camera, not too much more, but it's an upgrade. I am now paying less, and I got a free phone, basically.
Really?
So
see, I gotta look. That's a lot of stuff like that. I gotta look for a phone. I gotta look for a camera. I figure I'm gonna wait till we actually go on vacation again.
Well, what do you have? What kind of technology do you have?
Oh, it's just a simple point and shoot, and then I have that fake GoPro. Danny's calling your names.
Danny, just so you know, I haven't been really much around because I actually don't even think Danny knows. I'm a travel agent now, and so I've been doing a lot of training and stuff. Like a lot of my focus has been on there, and I actually went into Vancouver, as you know, John. And I actually haven't seen Danny in a while. Right. I got to go say hi to him.
I didn't realize that.
And happy birthday.
I'll see you. Yeah, Landon had a birthday this week.
Yeah.
How's the TA stuff going?
See, the problem, I'm overwhelmed, John. I've done travel, but no cruising, and that's what I'm trying to specialize in because I know a lot of people in the community, right?
Right.
I've traveled. I know land vacations, but the problem is I need to be able to, like anybody. You've used Expedia.ca or .com, right? You've used Expedia, right? I'm assuming to book travel before.
Is what? Say that again. I was really clicking on.
Have you used Expedia?
Yeah. Well, I use a bunch of stuff. I don't use one.
But so you've
I have once.
Love, are you all right? Okay.
Hey, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
Have you guys used travel websites to book travel by yourself?
I have, yeah.
So that's
I've done that.
That's basically what I can do. It's the same thing. That's all travel agents do, right?
Right.
But the difference is I am brand new, fresh. Whereas somebody else that's been on cruising, you're going to know a lot more about this than, do you know what I mean? Than me, right? And so I'm brand new, fresh. I'm learning. Okay, what's the Oasis class? What's the size of the ship? Who's the sister ship to this ship? So there's so many things that I have to get involved with. I mean, just in the cruise community, it's overwhelming, right? So it's okay. I'm going to do some training today, and no, you're going to do this, no. And then I've been watching webinars too. I get here. Watch. I'm going to show you. Give me one sec. Here it is. This is my work email. So go in here. Now, can you see? Let me see.
Not yet.
Hold on, I don't. Hey, hold on.
Huh?
Let me see. Can I put you?
Okay, the majority of these that you're seeing, okay, the majority of those are all invites to webinars. The majority.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's quite a bit.
Make a tourist board. Yeah, it's mind-boggling if you really see it, but it's not hard. So for you, John, so let's hypothetically say if you did it, you would have an easier time than me because you already know the cruise.
Right. No, I hear you. It's like, experience is always going to help you.
Is I don't have the experience to sell it yet. I can, if you're going on a cruise, John, I can book it. I have all the tools that I can book it. I just don't have that knowledge base behind me yet, and so that's what I'm learning. So someone like Sherry, you know what I mean? She's been doing it for many, many years, right? So she's already got that cruise experience plus the travel agent experience.
Right.
I'm learning both all at once. I'm a brand new, fresh guy coming in. But I love it.
Not to mention, Larry, one of the biggest places people travel is Disney World. That's another spot you're new at. So
right now, I am going to focus on land vacations, cruising. What do you call it? Weddings, destination weddings, because I got married in a destination wedding, so I can give the kind of like what happened with my wedding, right? So I do have experience. I just don't have the sales experience to back up. Okay, yeah, I've been here, right? You know what I mean? I've been there. I've been here. Like I've flown since 1980 was my very first trip ever on a plane. Do you know what I mean? So I can do all that. I've been to Mexico, so I can sell Mexico, but I can probably sell Punta Cana as well, even though I haven't been there.
Right.
Like I got the idea of how all-inclusives work and flights and packages and all that, right?
When you do a destination wedding, do you have to handle everything? The ceremony,
no. So okay, and so if I were say you wanted to get married, you and Nancy wanted to renew your wedding vows on the beach, I would basically. What did he do? He booked our flights, booked our hotels. And then part of it was because it's through Sunwing. I can't remember the full steps right now, but I will. then we were sent to the wedding coordinator in Mexico. They had their own, right? So when I got to the resort, they gave me a contact name to go talk to them. Actually, I got to talk to them beforehand here in Canada. Prancing in national parks. Danny, we're going to talk offline one day. I want to talk to you about that, if that's okay.
There's probably a demand for something like that. To do regional, like something like that too.
Yes.
It's amazing how many people, one member of them is a travel agent type of thing, Now, I think Blaine's wife is, of course, Sherry, Cindy Spike. I mean, there's so many of them that one of them are doing it.
Yeah.
The industry must be fairly saturated right now.
No.
Welcome in, Jeffrey.
Believe it or not, okay, home-based ones are basically part-timers. They're not full-time living off of their career as a travel agent. A lot of them. I'm just new to the industry by myself, right? But the way it's working. So the industry has lost a lot of full-time travel agents because there's no travel.
Well, Danny's wife is too. So okay.
Yes, Kimberly's a TA too. So what's happening is a lot of the home-based ones already has a second income. So they didn't really lose their job. Whereas everybody, like the guy that I was telling you that did my wedding, he actually he's paid by the hour, like for an actual travel agent company.
Okay.
I don't know if you can do that, but anyway, he's managed to stay busy, but a lot of the brick and mortar travel agency stuff, they've been hit hard because there's no travel.
Right.
Here in Canada,
right.
I'm talking about in Canada, right?
Well, no, I mean the U.S. too. Let me ask you a question: if people book these cruises, these all-inclusives, and they get canceled, do they hold the commissions on those until people actually take the trip? Or do they get anything up front?
They actually, I don't know if this is industry-wide, but I was watching a webinar a couple days ago, and it might be just this cruise line, that they're going to be. Before it used to be you had to wait till the cruise was booked and traveled before they gave you the commission. Well, now once the final payment is made, then they pass out the commissions. Now,
Final payment.
I don't know if this was industry wide or if it's just this cruise. You know what I mean? I'm not in it enough to know all that.
Well, take your example. Let's say you've canceled three or four cruises have been canceled. Now. The commission.
No, it's one. Sorry. Remember I told you the confusion was that I was doing a lot of mock bookings.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I've only canceled one. Well.
Okay. No. I'm talking about the one you're taking. That was canceled on you. The one you were.
Yeah. So, that's why I got some nice, beautiful OBC coming on my first cruise.
Right. Well, yeah, you get the little drink package and anything else. But
I like that. I was just looking for what I can spend it on.
Well, you're gonna need that to watch the Juma's granddaughter. So.
No, it's actually on my first cruise. So.
Oh, okay. But what I'm getting at is okay. So it gets canceled 2 or 3 times. Your cruise, you never do a final payment. Does that travel agent get anything at that point, or not till you rebook it?
So the way it sounded is if you make a final payment, then it's yours. That's the way they were making it sound into this conversation. Now, of course, they didn't say because of this one canceled and this one's canceled and all that. That's really getting mind-boggling for me how all that is right now. I haven't learned that yet. But I like I said, they once the final payment's made, they said, then they'll give out the commissions.
There's hockey for you, Larry. You should like hockey being in Canada, and there's UMass for me.
See, the University of Massachusetts, UMass.
Oh, going to put back up again, yeah.
Is winning the national championship tonight for college hockey game. Oh, nice.
Right.
I actually don't watch sports, John. I don't have cable TV. I only use, and actually I just bought a VPN today, so now I can get American Netflix. But I have Netflix and Prime. That's all I have.
Yeah, but that's basically enough. I find
That's all I need. And you
Yeah.
know what, John? I'm going to tell you right now. I haven't been on YouTube this week that much, but I'll tell you, when I first started my YouTube channel last year, I was spending an average of 40 hours a week just on YouTube,
Okay.
on my phone, because that's the only one that really gives you the numbers. So right now, time watched, 4 hours, 23 minutes a day. That's what I'm averaging this week. So 20 hours.
Okay.
I spent 20 hours and 40 minutes on YouTube just on my phone this week. That's not including in my bedroom where I watch YouTube, Roku. And right now I'm on my PC, so it's not counting that either on my phone. Right. I've been on here an hour and a half with you right now, so that adds into. Do you know what I mean? So, that's my life, really.
But there's a couple. There's a couple other channels if you want for free. There's Peacock and Crackle that both have.
We have Crackle. I've tried Crackle before. That stuff. Like I said, now I got the American Netflix because I had it before. I have the American Netflix, and there's much more on there. Like, you wouldn't believe the difference of amounts that you guys get over us. It's unbelievable. Like, me and Ananda's already watched basically every movie. So now she's all excited because I opened up a new set of movies for her. Now
how'd you sign up for the American version?
Excuse me. One sec.
Wow,
VPN.
nothing.
Sorry. Give me one sec. Through a VPN, a virtual private network. So, and it's legal, totally legal. And so what you're doing is I'm making it look like I'm in America right now.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? On my IP address. My IP address is in America. So the Netflix thinks I'm down in America.
Right.
And then they open up, right? So when you go to Netflix.com, wherever you are, it opens up whatever country it is.
Yeah.
Right? So when I open up Netflix, it goes to Netflix in Canada. When you open up, it goes to Netflix in America. But now with a VPN, virtual private network, it will put your IP in America, and Netflix thinks you're in America, and then that gives you the American content. Or China, or no, sorry, not China, UK, sorry.
Well, there's also a lot of, which I printed them all out. There's a bunch of codes too that you go in.
Yeah.
That it's I don't know really why they even do that. They somehow hide.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I don't know why they hide them, but you can get to these through these codes. Welcome in, Ella.
Ella Moon's vlog. I saw her today.
You saw her. And we were in the
Philippines. I remember her name today. What was it all about?
Well, she put out a couple videos. She didn't go live today, as far as I know.
No. I wasn't even live. No. I seen a post about her today, and I'm trying to remember where it was. Anyway, there used to be a thing called Kodi, Kodi.
Okay.
But that was kind of like not illegal, but illegal.
Yeah.
We call it. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I have my Netflix. I have my Prime. She does CBS. She's paid for CBS a couple times. I had the Disney Channel. What else did we have? Oh, Crave. We have something called Crave. I don't know if you guys.
You have Disney Channel also.
I had it, but I'm not a Disney kind of a guy.
Right.
And again, I say the majority of my day is spent on either travel agent stuff or YouTube stuff, or checking social media. Like I do with social media. I do my Twitter, my Facebook, and because I have two Facebooks for my YouTube channel, and I got a Facebook group for my travel agency, and so I do all the social media on that stuff.
Okay, welcome in, Christy Dela Cruz. Thank you for joining us.
I think I've seen her name before.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. Both of these are always in chat.
Oh, no, I know Ella Moon there. I just seen a post somewhere, and I'm trying to remember what the post was. Anyway.
She's patiently waiting, Larry, to get back on the Carnival ship.
I think there's a lot of people doing it, and that's another thing, John. I wanted to say, it is amazing. You can feel the excitement. People want to travel, and it doesn't take rocket science to figure it out. How many people travel worldwide?
Oh, I know.
And travel isn't really opened, right? So once they start opening up the doors to travel, there's going to be a lot of busy people.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding.
And it's not that, because they're still booking travel. Like I booked a cruise during the COVID, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not that travel's not being sold. It's just there's nobody traveling. So once it does opening up, so that's what I'm doing. I'm taking advantage of that time to learn, so I'm not overwhelmed when something comes.
Well, you know what drives me crazy, Larry, is when the cruise industry keeps on quoting that we have bookings, so many more bookings than we did last year, and it's all-time high. And it's like, well, yes, but 2/3 of those are free, not free, but the rebookings. You know,
I can give a little bit of tidbit. I don't want to say this, and I'm still trying to figure out what I can and can't say. But I will say this: there was mention that this one cruise line saying, keep your eyes out, that they're going to start doing those, what do you call it, runs, practice
test cruises,
where the volunteers, do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying it.
I don't know how they could. The big controversy, Larry, is the fact that they don't want to go by those strict guidelines. So I don't know how they can run a test cruise without going through the earlier phases.
On Anthony's channel last night, it's not that I know anything other than what you know, John, but it's pretty simple to really see. And I guess this is my own personality. It's pretty simple to see and understand that there's more than going on behind the scenes than what we really know.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
You know what I mean?
Larry.
And so you might be seeing one thing in the news media, and it's real, but what's happening in a couple of weeks? They might already know that they're already going to be cruising in a couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
And I think that's one of the big fears why the cruise lines, so none of them at the press conference in Florida. And they were very careful what they said, because I think that there is some action going on behind the scenes.
What's that?
Yeah. Eller, if you're still in here, cruise, just to give you a cruise update with your Carnival. Carnival has now threatened to move out of the U.S. temporarily for the summer. Yeah. So I don't know if that will affect you. And
her
also
name's Christy, right?
The what?
The president's Christy? Is her name Christy?
Oh, I don't know. And also that the governor, I'm just filling Eller in on this stuff. The governor of Florida is suing the government now. So there's a lot of stuff happening this week.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear that outcome. That's exactly what I'm waiting to hear on. All this other stuff that that's in the news, it's nothing to me. Because I believe there is things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Right.
And like I said, when I hear this, okay, so this in these webinars, these are from official like presidents and sales presidents and all those kind of things from these cruise lines. And so during this this webinar, somebody asked, so is there any word when they're going to start these test cruises? And they said, keep an eye out.
Yeah. So there's talk. Like I said, hello to Eric. He says hello to all of us.
She said it, and hi, Eric. Sorry.
Eric.
She said it very excitedly, and she should say soon. So now she's not coming out. She's careful with her wording.
Right.
Like I need to be careful with my wording also, because I can't really sit there and say, yeah, this is going to happen. I'm just saying. I'm just giving my feedback of what I've learned from others, right?
Right. But what cracks me up, Larry, too, is let's just say NCL's plan and they're behind closed doors, and they compromise the CDC, right? Okay, we're going to do what we said. We're going to vaccinate everyone, do this, do this, do this, and then we're going to test cruises, right? But we don't have to go to all the ports and sign contracts. Let's say they agreed on that. Now you have the governor yesterday saying, well, no, I'm not allowing anyone to sail from here if they require vaccines. I cannot pick
Carnival's the only one that has not made the decision to go somewhere else.
Right. Well, yeesh. I don't know. It was kind of
the only hold on. I'm talking about taking their ships, Carnival, actual Carnival,
right?
Not corporation, but Carnival Cruise Lines. They're the only cruise line that hasn't moved their or decided to move their ships to other ports to start up this summer.
Right.
Right. So, but I'm going to say NCL has been the most aggressive, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing they're doing. Vocally, I'm talking vocally, and in the media and stuff like that. But maybe that's a front, whereas the other ones that are being quiet are the ones that knows more. I don't know. It's hard. I'm just assuming, or sorry, speculating. You know what I mean?
Right, like we're all doing. In fact, they came out of nowhere, NCL, because if you remember, RCL was booking cruises, foreign cruises, a lot earlier. And then all of a sudden, NCL just came out of the blue and said, we're going to move to, they're the ones moving from Bahamas, right?
Yeah, Bahamas and St. Martin.
St. Martin, too? Okay, welcome in, Hitchy Bones. Thank you for popping in.
Yeah, the Bahamas and St. Martin. And then RCL is going out of Barbados. Is it Barbados? Yeah.
Barbados. Bermuda, too, right?
Yes, Bermuda. Sorry, yes, that as well.
Who's the one that is going out of, weren't they someone going out of Jamaica?
No, that's NCL.
NCL is Jamaica too? Okay.
Yeah, wait, give me a second. Was it NCL that I was watching or Celebrity? See, here I watch a lot of webinars. I'm getting overwhelmed with how much I'm watching and the information coming in.
Right.
So, what's it? Okay. There's one, Royal Caribbean is out of Barbados and Bermuda, I think. And then NCL is coming out of 3 or 4 ports. I think it's 3 or 4 ports. Yeah, Jamaica is 1, Punta Cana is 2, and Bahamas is 3.
Okay. You want to answer that question, Larry? Any news on the cruise front as to when they might start again? We may book one now. They are offering some great deals right now. Yeah, my rule of thumb there is, Hitchy Bones, is that I'm waiting until they actually get a ship in the ocean.
There's one deal that I was noticing, and that was out of Barbados. If you can get a good flight to Barbados, they have a $300 7-day cruise out of Barbados. All of a Southern Caribbean.
Yeah.
$300 7-day cruise. That's really unheard of. Is it Royal? Yeah, I think it's Royal.
There's several decent deals though right now. I think when cruising does come back with such a backlog, that the prices are going to skyrocket.
Oh, of course they are.
So it's like if you can grab something now, I guess, and hold on to it, right?
That's right. And John, and the way I see it, and I'm not trying to influence you or anything, but the way I see it is okay, I can change something. I'm allowed to switch it forward. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like without losing my, like the deposits aren't refundable, but from what I understand, and I haven't fully found this out yet, that I can, if I choose not to go on that cruise, I can switch it to another cruise. I just can't get refunded.
Okay, because that was never the policy before, so that's like a thing going on now, right?
I don't know. This is the way I understood it from others, where I said because of my first cancellation.
Yeah,
I was seeing, hey, shoot, I'm getting close to this January, right? Or February, yeah, January, and it's getting close and getting close. You know what? I want another cruise. So when I asked, they said you can't cancel because it's non-refundable. Well, the way I thought of it, I'm not canceling. I'm switching it to another cruise. So there's no penalty for me switching from one cruise to another.
But I don't know if you can do that before. I think they've had all sorts of different rules now to accommodate people. Usually, if you didn't pay your final payment, you could do that. But if you pay the final payment, I think you were locked in the past. Mm-hmm. But they've changed things around. They have all sorts of stuff. What's the one they call lift and sail or something where you can keep the price and everything and just Hitching Bones says, "Wow, you can't stay home for that cheap." You're right. We found some great deals out of Galveston.
Vloggers cruise in 2023. They're going to Roatan and all that kind of stuff in Cozumel. Right. That's the itinerary that I was actually going to be looking at in 2023.
Okay.
But it was supposed to be out of Galveston. But because the group cruise is out of New Orleans going to those ports, I'm thinking, you know what? I want to go on a group cruise. It's going to be quite helpful to me. Really, right. and I really want to meet everybody. I really do. Yeah. I want to meet as many as I can. Truthfully, one of the favorite couple I want to meet is Pear DJ.
Yeah, really.
He laughs every time.
Now, are you on one of the? Oh, you're doing that with the Vloggers cruise.
Well, I'm actually waiting for Elisa from EEC Travels to get back to me. She already gave me a price on an inside, but it was the price with the drink package and everything else. But we don't drink,
right?
And so I thought, maybe she can help with, getting rid of that. Can you get rid of the drink package, and maybe it'll cut down on the price of the cruise? And this was a price that included airfare, which it was a great price for me.
Okay.
We actually did a mock booking before we got to see her, and it was $200 more from just me booking it. And when I was showing it, it's like, okay, that's not bad. And then she sent me a price with airfare and everything, and it's like, wow. Like return airfares out of Vancouver down to New Orleans was $340 return, and that's in 2023. So that's a guaranteed price in 2023. So I like that actually, right? You know what I mean?
Too bad you couldn't combine it with your road trip, where you leave a week there at the end. You know how you're going to drive down that area?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
How far is New Mexico from? You're talking Galveston, right?
From Galveston, it's about 9 hours.
Okay, so you'd have to go down, visit your kids, and then drive over and spend the night over there or something, or 2 nights, whatever.
Well, I was supposed to go with KC. Well, sorry, not that's the wrong choice of words. KC wanted me to go on his group cruise.
Right.
But I had already had my cruise already booked for 2022.
Yes.
And it wasn't beneficial for me to change it. And my travel agent that booked it for me, he would have lost that commission. Right. And that wouldn't be fair. And that's one of the decisions why I decided not to go on KC's group cruise. It was nothing personal. It was based on those things, right? And so that was out of Galveston.
Right. Well, I remember that, Larry. I remember us talking about it back then when they came up with that one, and I didn't want to go in January. It was January, February, and I knew you had already.
February. Their anniversary is in February.
Yeah, and you had already booked something.
Yeah, and so if it wasn't for that, I would have went on his group cruise.
Yeah,
right. Which I love KC and Sean. Right,
and I'm sure they'll do another one. They're a little uncomfortable now with everything going on down there, but once things open up again, I'm sure they'll put another one together.
Yeah, KC was saying that he didn't want to book nothing until, like you.
Right.
But for me, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
For me, even if it is, it's like $100. Like,
well, you're not losing it.
No.
You just got to be. I mean, how many different cruise lines have you booked on? I mean,
just the one actually.
Oh, okay. All right, so you don't have to switch different cruise lines and tie up more money. You can just keep moving from ship to ship, right?
So with the group cruise or the 2023 Vloggers cruise, that's with that Royal? Yeah, Royal. Wait. Norwegian, sorry. Norwegian. Norwegian. What's the name of it?
Breakaway?
No. Yeah, yes, Breakaway. And so, which is a big ship.
That's usually out of New York. But Juma, how far are you from the New York cruise ports? Are you near them at all?
I would take the train from Long Island to Penn Station, and that's about an hour on the train.
Okay.
And then
That's that far?
I'm not sure once I get into the city, I don't think it would be more than a half an hour.
Okay.
That I'm not sure about though.
Where is Penn Station in New York?
Huh?
Where is Penn Station? Is that in Manhattan? Penn Station?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because Manhattan, they have a cruise port in Manhattan that I saw on Google Maps once.
That's that's the one that we usually took our NCL cruises out of, Manhattan.
I'm telling you right now, New York, Juma, we are going to New York one day. Like when I was looking before COVID, the price of return airfare from Canada, like Vancouver, Canada, where I'm at on the West Coast to New York, was $300. Pre-COVID numbers, right? You know what I mean? $300 is what it costs to go to Miami. So it's like, it's affordable, right? So, and I've always wanted to go to New York. My brother was there. My sister was there. I haven't been yet.
Well, you know, and New York did a lousy job of laying it out for the cruise port because you can't get. I had looked into trying to take a train or something directly to the cruise port, and you've got to take a cab. You got to stop somewhere and take a cab. It's not right near it, unfortunately. But that's the way to do it. If you can take a train from Long Island, and then you take a cab from wherever the train lets you off.
Ironically, like where I'm from,
I would have to. Like I said, I would go right into Penn Station. That would be the last stop for me from Long Island.
Okay.
And then I would have to come outside. My middle daughter said I had two choices. I could either do a cab to the port, or when we come up, we can go across the street and catch the bus.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to get on the bus with no luggage.
Yeah.
So I would spend the money on the taxi or Uber, one of the two.
Yeah, Uber's not a bad idea.
I was just going to say where I'm from, like when I grew up, our taxi cabs in my hometown, they were based on zones. Zone 1 started out at like $3. Zone 2, it went up at like $1 for each zone. And then I experienced these as like in New York, which is the very first metered cab I've ever seen on TV. And I don't like these things sitting at a red light and they're charging you.
Yeah, I know.
I just, and like I took a metered cab in Calgary one time. And in Calgary, they have north, south, east, and west. So with the same number. So you can go to 102.35 northwest, or you can 102.35 southeast. So I told the cab driver, and I wasn't really fully familiar with Calgary at the time, but he starts to take me in the totally wrong direction.
Yeah, you hear about those
stories. Oh, I'm sorry about that, sir. And he drives me back, and he still charged me for making that mistake.
Yeah, that sounds. Eric B says, now Eric is on our cruise too.
Yes, he is,
I'm pretty sure. So Najuma, Eric's on the cruise too. That's the cruise we're talking about. I love the vlogger cruise idea, but I can't go too cruise crazy because I got to save time for international trips. My goal is to go out of the country once a year. He does a nice job of spreading his trips around.
Well, this is what I'm trying to figure out. And like I have a January cruise, then I got the group cruise in October, and then which is twice a year. Like that's my travel twice a year, but that's not including all these little things that I gotta go. I gotta, which is really touching into my budget for this October cruise. Not that I'm not going, right. But my daughter's wedding that was not planned.
Oh. Yeah, when is that? When is that?
April 2nd, 2022.
Oh yeah, that's a biggie.
Right. So I gotta take me and my wife down to New Mexico, do the wedding, buy her a gift, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Which was not planned. So we're working on it. We're working on it, and hopefully travel will be back up and running, and I'm making sales on doing travel. Then I'm not worried about it. Right.
Right. Can you combine that?
We have a permanent income. We're both on long-term disability, right? So our income, we already have an income. So doing this, I don't need to do it, but it's helpful. It'll allow me to travel more.
No, but that's what a lot of people do when they retire too. I mean, I'm looking at never being fully retired. I'll have to do a part-time job, and that money will go strictly into a travel budget.
There you go.
I mean, you got to do that if you want to take the trips.
I highly recommend don't not do anything. I've been out of work for 3 years, John, sitting at home, not active because I can't physically. I haven't been able to be physically active, and then COVID hits, and that made me go even longer. Mentally, being out of work that long and not doing nothing, it's when you're working all your life. You know what I mean? You
right. Oh yeah.
You're sitting back doing nothing. Everybody, I always dreamed when I was younger. Hey, I can't wait for retirement. I get to sit back, hang out in my house, and walk around naked and do whatever I want. Well, you know what? I've been off for 3 years. It's not that fun being out of work. It really isn't. And
no nakedness, I assume.
No comment to that.
Okay. Larry.
Sorry. Najuma's here. I'm sorry, Najuma.
Larry, I was going to bring something up that you brought up yesterday, and I meant to address it. I totally forgot. Is when you were talking about you're a little worried because you had read. I went through all those excursions too. You'd read the excursions, and there was a lot of walk-in and something else. You got to figure things are going to get a little bit normalized. And when we went on excursions, they always had an option for people who had problems walking and stuff. There was always something. It might have been a bus that comes right up to the ship and does a tour of the town or one of those. So you got to figure that's going to all come back. They can't take people.
No, I agree. But see, when I looked at all the excursions that Carnival offers, for one, okay, a lot of the stuff that deals with weight, there's a lot of them that deals with weight. So we're excluded from that, right? Going on zip lines, we can't go on zip lines. Right. We can't do certain motorized excursions. And then there's things that we're not paying that kind of money for doing that. Like certain excursion has like 2 and 3 star ratings. I'm not doing those, right? So it's basically bringing our options really low of what we can do. So what I and Ananda wanted to do is just walk around, like explore. Right. I want to go to restaurants and try a different food, but I eat from my eyes, not, well, okay, you know what? We're going to this restaurant at 12 o'clock and we're going to eat. That's not for me. So knowing that, I'm okay if they have to be their excursions only. I'm okay with that. I'd be fine sitting on a ship. I just want to get out of the country.
Yeah,
that's what I want. And so I would be fine sitting on a cruise and not doing any excursions at all. Our wedding, I didn't do anything. I bought her for our wedding. I bought her swimming with the dolphins, which was quite pricey. But I didn't need to. I was supposed to go on what do you call that? The air or the parachute thingy?
The hang glide, the parasail.
Parasail. I was supposed to do that, but I never got around to doing it because we're just too busy. And so excursions, it's not necessarily my thing. I like exploring. I want to do the hop on, hop off things. I love that kind of stuff. I want to experience food. It's not that I don't want to do all these excursions, but I'm 350 pounds. They're not going to let me on, like when I heard going to Pizza Canada, the main thing is that zip line that I'm interested in, but everything else all about swimming. Cool. But hey, I want an excursion. So.
Right. Well, and you got, like I said, hopefully the ports will be back. You can walk around that. And then most of these had 2 or 3 beach for a day type of things, which they bring it to a beach and they include the drinks and the food, and you spend the day that. So, I mean, you have at least those couple type of things. Tommy Dotson, I don't know if I said welcome in, but welcome in if I forgot. In New York, we use a car service to go to the airport. To the cruise port costs a little bit more than a cab, I think, but reasonable. So that's what you're talking about, Najuma. He took a cruise. He took a
LGA.
LaGuardia Airport.
Oh, okay.
So you
Oh,
flew
that's right, 'cause
into
they have. There's in just New York, not New Jersey. In New York, there's two, right? JFK and
Yeah,
LaGuardia.
LaGuardia and JFK.
Yeah, yeah. And then you got New Jersey on the other side of the river.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what they flew us into.
So I did see one excursion. I'm getting all excited. It's the intro to scuba diving, not the intro, the hour one that they do it all inclusive. We've already done that a couple times. This
Okay.
is actually the pre-PADI course, which would train you to basically, and then you're going out into the ocean and actually diving into the ocean, whereas at the
Right.
resort, you're swimming in a swim pool. I would do it. Maximum weight 250 pounds.
So you wonder what the maximum weight, why that would come into play. Is just from a breathing point of view, they figure your lung capacity?
I can swim. I can breathe. I don't smoke cigarettes, so I can have no problem.
Yeah.
Now,
That's kind of-
actually, there was one issue, but that could be learned. Is I have a really extremely bad gag reflex.
Okay.
Like, do not put nothing. I went to get a wisdom tooth pulled. It took them 13 X-rays to X-ray my tooth.
Wow. Can you put a snorkel in your mouth?
Huh?
Can you put a snorkel in your mouth?
I can, but if it hits my tongue a certain way, I panic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's what happened during this 1 hour thing. I was swimming around the bottom and it's like, oh, I'm enjoying this.
Right.
And it touched my tongue a certain way and I start to panic and I had to get up out of the water, right? You know what I mean? And so you have to learn not to do that because you can't panic when you're 50 feet underneath, you know?
Because my number one favorite thing is snorkeling. Najuma, do you ever snorkel? Have you ever snorkeled?
No.
See, John, that's what's drawn me to what you're saying. Hanging out with you during excursions because that's what me and Ananda do. But we're not the, doing zip lines and jungle gyms, and we're not that kind of people. We're just want to go in the water and swim and see the fish. That's what we want.
Well, the reason I don't do that, Larry, go ahead, Najuma.
I'm not a good swimmer, so I'm scared of getting in the ocean.
Oh, you are really? Okay.
But you can do it with a life jacket, Najuma.
I can manage swimming in the pool because I have grandkids.
Right.
So I go with them to the pool, but I'm like really scared of going swimming if I go out to the beach.
Now, what about like even the beach you can see, like it's so clear the water, it's only say a foot deep, would still know? Okay.
What about a life jacket, Najuma? No?
No.
Because that's like we went to this
I don't know.
place.
I might try it with a life jacket, but I don't know. I just this fear of drowning in the ocean.
Yeah,
I think it's the fact that if I go so far out, I can't feel the bottom.
Right.
So whereas if I'm in the pool, I'm only going to go so deep where if I stand up, I could feel the bottom of the pool.
Right.
Well, I noticed a lot of these snorkeling excursions, you're in a big, huge group normally.
Correct.
And I don't see them going out far. Well, certain ones they do.
Well, most of
where
them
you're jumping off a sailboat into the big ocean. That's different.
Right.
But there's some of them where you're just at a beach and you have a life jacket on. You're just watching the coral, like what do you call it? D from Para DJ. Grand Turk. Grand Turk, right there at the pier. They swim right there. You don't have to go far. You can see the little fishies in the water. And
that's my favorite ports, Larry. When the beach is right there, so you don't have to get into a cab. You go out, you swim, you go back to the ship.
I already registered for my free shot of rum when I get there. I actually registered for my first cruise because it was Grand Turk was one of the stops, but then I found out I'm going to Grand Turk again on this one. And so, yeah, I pre-registered because if you pre-register, you get a free shot of rum.
I'll have to do that. Najuma, though, address what you just said again. A lot of these ports will have a pool. It sounds weird. Right at the port, and that you can swim in. So if someone doesn't want to go in the ocean, you can just swim in the pool. It's like a big port. You don't have to buy.
They got Margaritaville at Punta Cana. That's one huge pool and.
Yep.
Yeah,
we did that in Jamaica. That's all we did. We didn't leave the port. We just went to the pool at the at the Margaritaville. So
See,
a lot of them have that.
That's basically what me and Anna did. We just hung out in the pool or in the ocean. I can swim, so I'm okay. But
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I got a little mental scared of wildlife now, and I love sharks, so I get a little nervous. But it's much more sharks down where Jamaica and all that. Whereas in Mexico, where we went there during June, and there's no sharks around during that time. Although there has been shark attacks there, actually.
Right.
But I don't know. It was Shark Week that made me nervous of sharks in that sense.
I'm trying to think what island it was. It was very weird. Like you'd be taken over on a boat. It was drinking and food. Everything was included and everything was great. But they had signs. They told you do not go to the other side of the island because that was all open with sharks. So
you told me that. You got to tell me which one. That's where I'm going.
I'm trying to find out which one that was.
See, Sean or John, I'm okay swimming with sharks if I'm with a group. I'm terrified if I like Najum is saying. If I'm out in the ocean and I don't see nothing, that's when my brain starts to think, okay, where is it? I don't see the shark. I don't see it. Is he coming? But if I know there's a shark there and I'm with a group, take me in. I'm first in line.
Yeah, what he's not telling us, the Junior, is he wants the group so he can push us in the way. Get the heck out of the water. He's got a method to his madness.
Well, I actually, when we went to Mexico, I didn't know a lot about sharks, but I always knew I liked sharks. And when I went there, like I said, it wasn't shark season, but I found out after the fact that there was recorded shark attacks during that time, those times of the year that are going. Right. The bull sharks are in between Cozumel and Playa del Carmen. They're in that area between November and April November through April. Well, I was there in June. So I'm hearing, okay, November to April, okay, we're in June, we're going to be safe. So my brain's saying, okay, there's sharks here, but there's none here. Then I come back to Canada and I found out, hey, they have bull sharks there. And I'm thinking, okay, small little bull sharks. I didn't know lots about them.
Right.
I watched Shark Week, found out that bull sharks are the number 2 most vicious sharks out there.
Really?
And at this aquarium where we had the annual passes, they had the bones were like that. It's like, oh my God. Like,
wow.
But like I said, I could, because they do offer swimming with bull sharks in that area. Now you have to be a certified scuba diver, but I would do that because obviously they know what they're doing. They know how to, it's not like you're swimming across the ocean and, the shark comes up and eats you. It's you're going out, just because you dive into the water doesn't mean they're going to come and attack you, right? So it's in a controlled environment and they bring you down and you're holding your hand, you're with the people, you're not feeding them or anything. The other divers are feeding them, right?
Right. Well, they knew how to handle them. Like you said, I've never heard of them on the East Coast. I've heard of the islands on the West Coast where they've had swim with the sharks, but I didn't realize they did that on the East Coast. Well, that's, you should look at that.
Are you talking about Cozumel?
No, I'm talking, when I say the West Coast, I mean like like Fiji Islands, Hawaii,
California?
Yeah.
That's another funny story. Because when I first went to California in 2011, and I told you I felt the warm water, I found out after the fact that's where a lot of the great whites come in. And there's been shark sightings, the great whites coming in. And that's even worse.
But what surprised me, Larry, is that I think the number 1 place for sharks or shark attacks or white sharks, whatever it is Smirnoff Beach in Florida.
Florida, yeah.
It's just one beach. So, I guess, but if that's something you really want to do, I would almost guarantee that you could book a cruise, but you'd have to book it. The cruise won't offer that. You'll have to book that on your own. Just get online and do a search. And I'll bet you anything, you'll come up with one that will do that for you.
That I found, now, of course, I really didn't do an extreme deep search, but the places that I've learned is in Bahamas. They have frequent shark sightings on some of the snorkel dives. And I also learned that a lot of these swimming with the sharks, you need to be certified diver. I'm not certified. I did look into it, and it's actually not that expensive. Well, it is expensive. It's just under $1,000 to become certified. But
wow, I didn't realize it was that much.
oh yeah, I want it, but is it worth me getting it if I'm not going to tropical places all the time? Because there's no way I'm going swimming here in our ocean. It's too cold.
No, it's the same thing as up here, Larry. I would love to be certified, but I know I won't. I'll do it once a year, so it's really not worth it.
Yeah, and that's why I wish they have something better for, in that sense, swimming with the sharks. Like, there's got to be a way to bring us down there where you don't have to be totally certified.
Right. Like
now,
snorkeling.
there was one thing which I got a little depressed, but now I hear that's changed. Is Key West. I watched a YouTube video where there's this, it looks like a pontoon boat. I don't know. Yeah. It kind of looks like a pontoon boat where they take people out and they feed the sharks from the boat.
Yeah.
And you can experience the sharks that way. I am very interested in that, but it was only Key West that I found that.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in.
Well, I would just say research. There's bound to be an island that will have that kind of a thing, but it's probably not going to be a ship excursion.
And like I said, the research I've done so far is Bahamas and Florida.
Right. Okay. And neither one you're going to next year, right?
Miami.
No, but I mean, you're not going to snorkel Miami. I don't think you're going to find anything. Are you?
No, I go swimming with sharks.
But with it. You think that would be in Miami? I wouldn't think it would be there, but maybe you're right.
I'm sure there's some kind of excursion taking you out in the ocean to.
Well, you can always go to the Miami Aquarium and just jump in the main tank too. So.
I do want to go to the aquarium though. I love like I said, we had annual passes and we used to go lots. Like that's date night kind of deal. Not date night, but date day.
Right.
We live, about a half an hour walk away from the aquarium, right? So okay, what are you doing? Okay, let's go to the aquarium, right? And always my favorite spot was the tropical place. Where the tropical, they have the sharks and they have the tropical plants, the tropical fish. Like they have their own little zone.
Yeah, right.
They have them all. Well, they do have other aquarium or parts of the aquarium where there's other ones. But they had like this. It was called the tropical zone, and it's like, oh, I love it. Like going through the Amazon forest, and and it's the humidity. I like humidity. I like that feeling. Like leaving Mexico. Have you been to Mexico, John?
Yes, I have a couple times.
So, did you ever notice, like when you left Mexico, that your skin started to tingle?
No.
So I noticed that when I left Mexico, my skin, it's just, you can feel the dryness coming through, right?
Okay. Here's a suggestion for you, Larry. Even though Tommy, would this be involved in sharks? He's somehow into petting sharks. Some excursions are offering helmet diving, no scuba certificate needed. I
think it's scuba, not the one that looks like a space alien. That's another one, but I think it's scuba that he's talking about. The air hoses done to like an air compressor, like in a balloon and stuff. I did see that, but I haven't really found anything that offers that. But I would do that.
It's bizarre too, because
if I did find it, it's like $300 and $400 that I'm not going to pay for 20 minutes of cloudy water and
Well, that's why we've never done it, just because of the cost. But it's weird because you get that helmet, but the rest of you're not in any kind of a wetsuit. You're just kind of in your bathing suit, and you
see. When I first found out about that, it's like, oh wow, that is so cool. Then you see the price. Then it's like, okay. And then you find out how long it is. It's like, you're charging me that much for that long? Like, it turned me off. I follow this other channel, Chubby and the Wave, they're called. And they did it. I can't remember where they were. And they did it. And it was like 10 minutes or whatever. 10 to 15 minutes they were in the water. Like the rest of it was training them how to do things.
All right.
You're in the water for 10 minutes and you're out. For $200 or $300,
no.
It's like,
there is a place. I saw a video. There is a place. We're going to Aruba, and there is a place. I think the boat takes you out to an island, and you have the option of different things. And one of them is this snuba thing. But like you said, it's big bucks. It's well over $100 for a very short time, from what I understand.
I don't mind 100, 150. When it starts getting higher on that, then I am expecting much more. I'm expecting food.
Yeah.
And drinks.
Right. Well, I can see. Well, this actually includes drinks, but of course they don't give it to you after you've done the water part because they don't want to be liable.
So I think I put a link before, and I was just trying to recommend it for a lot of cruisers that goes to Cozumel, and just outside of Tulum, Mexico, which is just across from Cozumel. I have a place called Xelha. It's spelled Xelha. And it's a water park where, that's why I was saying to Najuma, she's afraid of the ocean. Well, this is ocean water, but it's blocked. Like there's no sharks can get in there because where the water comes in from the ocean, there's a bridge and it's netted, so there's no danger in it. And
it's an echo park, is what they call it. Yeah.
Excuse me. It's not as deep, so you're not as afraid, and you also have a life jacket and fins and snorkel and mask, and you also have a tube that you can do the lazy river and all that kind of stuff. They have zip lines, they have many other things, but what I liked about it is it came with food and drinks.
Yeah.
Right? The drive to and from the resort, and a half day at Tulum for two of us under $200.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Right. So that's the kind of what I got, but that was in 2014. I can't expect, right? So I get the idea of what things going on. And a lot of those excursions are just way too overpriced for the limited time that they give you.
Right. Well, that's the thing. The cruise, and some of those you can stay as long as you want, but the cruise just doesn't give you the allotted time. Najuma, if I'm not mistaken, you told me you haven't been to Florida before, right? You have not?
Yes, I have. My husband has family in Florida.
Oh, okay. So you did go to Florida. Okay.
I'm jealous. I want to go to Florida right now. Open up the border. Free us Canadians, please.
Because the first time I went to Florida, my two oldest kids were, I think, 7 and 5. I didn't know my husband then. We went to Disney World.
Oh wow. John's selling me on Disney World and all that kind of stuff, Najuma. I'm gonna go there one day.
And then I think the second time I went, I was with my husband, and I had my youngest daughter. She wasn't quite a year old yet, and we went to Jacksonville because he's got family in Jacksonville.
Oh, Jacksonville, yeah.
Okay.
So we went to spend a few days with his mom and his brother.
Nice.
And that was the last time I went. And that was almost 25 years ago.
Yeah. So you need to get back down south a little bit.
My youngest daughter turned 8 months old while we were down there.
Oh wow.
So that was back in, we got married in 95. I had her in 96. So that was in 97, the summer 97.
That's the year I get married the first time.
So you have two different memories.
Yeah, I was with her for 18 years.
Wow.
That's why my kids, she left me for an American and moved to New Mexico, brought my kids, and that's why I know so much about America. I just want to comment to this, a funny story. Talking about this Xelha, this eco park, they have stingrays in there, but that was an extra cost in this park. But it was not its own separate area. It was a rope blocking you from going into the area where the stingrays were, where they showed.
Oh, really? Okay.
So what happened was, me and Ananda, we walked over to the side and we're just observing, which you're allowed. Like we were on the other side. We're watching, and it's like, oh, isn't that cool, dear? Like, look at that. They're over there. I would love to do it, but I'm not paying the money, blah, blah, blah. So they had just finished, and all of a sudden they come to walking towards us, and we're thinking, oh, God, we're in trouble. We're not supposed to be here. Like, there's no sign saying we kept here.
Right.
And they go over and they just start talking to us about the stingrays. And then all of a sudden, I felt this tickle on my feet. What had happened, I didn't know this, is they had dropped food at our feet, both me and Amanda's feet.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
they started swimming around our feet. And so we got to touch it for free.
Yeah.
Like,
I love stingrays.
oh, they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then at our aquarium here in Vancouver, they have these gold-colored stingrays with blue dots on them, and they were so beautiful. Oh, I love stingrays. They're beautiful. Really,
yeah, and they're so docile, so friendly. I mean, you can pat them. You know, most places you go will allow you to touch them and pat them. Hold on, I got my islands wrong. Stingray K is Grand Cayman. Getting late. Okay, that makes more sense.
All hoping that I get to go sting with the stingrays again. If it's not too much, I would pay to go swim with the stingrays.
You got to be careful too, because some is so commercialized, like these stingray ones.
And that's the problem, John. That's why I don't. It's way too over commercialized.
Right.
If it's an excursion where I know I'm helping with their economy and all that kind of stuff, I don't mind. But no, don't give me charge me $150 for a 10-minute excursion.
Right.
Like,
and not just that, but you're wasting your day, especially if it's a cruise. These ones that he's talking to, you go out in a boat and you should see aerial pictures from a drone. It's just people, because we're on a sandbar. That's what they bring you out to, is a sandbar. People are standing there and it's just saturated with people. So
yeah. That's the one thing. And Anna doesn't want to go on these big cruise ships with tons and tons of people. But I'm an extrovert. She's an introvert.
Okay.
And so we're working together on all this kind of stuff, I guess. And with Carnival Freedom, it's only, I think that was a 3,000 or 4,000 person ship. So it's the third biggest.
Okay.
Because you got Panorama, which is that class, and then you got a Magic in that class, and then we're the next class down, the Carnival Freedom.
Okay, but I think the Horizon's up there. That's 167,000 tons.
That's
so
the one below Panorama, equal to Carnival Magic.
Well, Panorama is like Mardi Gras, right? Are they in the same category? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's going to be a decent size ship. We actually sat and watched a video on that because I hadn't even seen the ship, just to get an idea what was on it. But as far as you and your wife, you can easily adapt. Like if you can go here and mingle, and then you can just go off and do your. So
that's
very
what I like about living here, John. Yes, I'm landlocked, and we are limited to certain things.
Yeah.
But that's why I like going into Vancouver. It's like a trip to another country in a sense. You know what I mean? I get to see the big city, but if it's too overwhelming, I'm done. Like, I actually hate driving in the city. It's not that I can't. It's just I took defensive driving, and so defensive driving teaches you how to not worry about your driving because you're already taught how to drive. It's about watching other drivers. And I could say, Vancouver drivers are bad, but it doesn't matter. Any big city you go to, there's always going to be bad drivers.
Yeah. In Aruba, got this one straight. Okay, so if you want to trust Tommy, our favorite is to go to Baby Beach. Easy to get there on your own with a rental car and slip out of the side. I got a question for you, Tommy. You've been there, because I definitely want to pick your brain before we go there. Me and my wife like to just kind of walk from the ship and go to a beach. Is there any beaches within walking distance of the cruise port?
I can't see why there wouldn't be.
Well, some of them are long. You got to take a cab. They're just too long of walks. Yeah, a lot of ports are that way.
Yeah, see, the way I'm thinking of, although because I was born in a cruise port, there's no beaches around St. John's cruise port. So I understand now. Yeah. Because I was thinking, well, if you're in a cruise, you're by water. Why? But then I remembered St. John. Yeah, they have ocean where the cruise port is, but they don't have beaches.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. A lot of these are like that. We love to try and find ports that you can, like you said, Grand Turk is supposed to be great. You walk off the ship, you're there. There's a lot of them like that.
That's not on your itinerary, but it's on mine.
What
I'm
is?
just saying. I'm just saying yours because I'm on yours as well. But I'm saying for my January one.
Yeah. What are the ports again on January 1?
So the January one, my ports are St. Martin, St. Kitts, Grand Turk, and St. Martin, St. Kitts, San Juan, Grand Turk, and then back.
Okay, so St. Kitts, you're not in walking distance, but yeah, if you just want to explore the port area,
I'm trying to remember. I think St. Kitts is going to be. I was looking at something in St. Kitts. Was it the food? I think there's a resort or something that I was looking at that I'm a little interested in hanging out at the resort for the day, because there's no way I'm going to be swimming on any of the cruise pools. They're way too small. I don't want to swim around 1,200 people. You know what I mean? And the only time you're going to have that is during cruise day. What do you call them? Sea days. I don't want to go into pools. And then with COVID, there might be different things. So
right.
I want at least, like a swim day. So Grand Turk is going to be a swim day for sure.
Okay, that's January. St. Kitts is the one. If you ever look at my videos of the monkeys, that's.
I did. I saw your videos. I seen your St. Kitts stuff.
Okay,
that's the one. That's why I was telling you I might consider the one you did, but add on the meal to it.
Right. Well, what's the third island? It's Grand Turk, St. Kitts. What's the third one?
San Juan.
Yeah, we were canceled twice on that.
I'm hoping and praying that we're both have gotten into the gym by then and get their knees. See, the problem is right now, we both had bad arthritis.
Okay.
But in the sense of their excursion in San Juan, if we start going to the gym soon, we can strengthen our legs, so we can walk longer distances. Not run, but we can walk longer distances. So right now, I can walk maybe 50 feet, and my hips are sore. Yeah. But it's not my hips; it's because my knees are sore, and it's always hurting my hips, right? And so
overcompensating, probably.
Overcompensating. So if I can get back in the gym, because I know this. For a couple of years ago, we were going to the gym, but the price for our gym is outrageous. $70 $70 a month for one. Yes, it's got a pool and it's got a small gym, but we didn't do it. So we only went for like 3 months and then we stopped. But we were losing weight. But the bones, we felt good. Everything eating healthy. And so I already have plans to get back there. Actually, I was telling you I was getting that GoPro. I'm also getting Fitbits.
Okay.
Activity tracker. I'm not getting Fitbit because they're too overpriced now.
Well, that's just a name brand, right? That's what I have. I have a Darman.
Where is it? Oh no, I can't see it right now.
There's one connected to the port. I think they charge for that. Yeah, that's the thing. I'll have to look and see how far Eagle Beach is. We'll have to look at that one.
Okay, but they should the best are up toward Eagle Beach. I love eagles, so
there's probably none around there. But
I was just going to say there's probably not Eagle Beach. Just use the name.
But yeah, that's something to look at. I'm gonna have to check with Tommy before we go because it sounds like he hit. Were you on there for a week, like on a land trip, Tommy, or was it just a cruise?
Like Tommy's been to every port.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Well, he may have taken. They could be land vacations, so that's what I'm not sure. Larry, what about just
the one with the pink salt, right?
That's Bermuda. Is that what you said? No, Bermuda's a pink sand.
Well, no, I could have sworn it was Aruba.
Let's say it's pink sand too. Tommy, does Aruba have pink sand? I always knew
because the penguins, they're not penguins. Sorry, flamingos.
They have flamingo beaches there too. Which
yes, and I think because I watched a couple other cruise channels, but they don't follow our. If I can say it that way, our cruise community, you know what I mean? And so I've seen some of their vlogs, and they were there. And they rented a golf cart. I think they rented a golf cart or something. And they ended up at some, and they're 3 times all part of the cruise. But does Bermuda, or sorry, does Aruba? I'm pretty sure it was either Aruba or Curacao that had the pink sand.
I haven't heard of those, but the flamingos, that was another thing. We wanted to do that, and I looked into it, and that was extremely expensive to just go on the beach where the flamingos are. And then they tell you, from what I understand, they tell you have to spend a certain distance away, Najuma, bring her back up again. Welcome back, Najuma.
Actually, John, I actually need to get going soon. We haven't eaten our dinner yet.
Yeah, I got to cut. We've gone 2.5 hours, so we'll cut this off now anyways, because I have to go to little boy's room.
I understand that problem.
So before you get off, Najuma, did you want to say anything before we leave?
Yes, she's going to start her own YouTube channel next week. She's going to go live every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday evenings.
And make sure, Najuma, you come up with a list for Larry for your granddaughter.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, thank you for joining us, Najuma.
She likes to draw pictures. She likes to play cards, I think.
What kind of card games does she like, Najuma?
I don't know. She plays anything.
Okay. I like card games. I like cribbage.
She likes to drive me crazy.
I have a 26-year-old and a 20-year-old. I understand, and they're both daughters.
So, Larry, you want to say a little bit about your channel, anything before we end this?
I've been watching everybody's live feed, and I really miss doing live feeds. I really do. But I think I told you before, John. Me doing the live feeds, it's just another one in like the content that I can provide.
Right.
It is just like anybody else out there, and so I'm waiting for travel so I can get that going. And then I have ideas that I want to do in the future, but right now my channel's on hold. I've still got videos that I'm working on. Look who it is!
Hello, Edna.
Hi, Edna.
Edna, you're like me. When you're on vacation, you got to get on there on YouTube, say hi all to the peeps. You cannot. I just, my phone is with me 24/7. So yeah, my channel. I'm just waiting for it, but I do have some videos that I'm working on. But editing is not really easy when you have to edit old footage that was not created in a timeline and like in a story.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Like I'm working on one. We went for a drive downtown Vancouver, and the reason why I am saying I did this, my most popular video that I have has probably by now 4,000 views. And wow. It's a 24-minute video of riding around Powell River.
Yeah.
And so to us, okay, it's beautiful, but it's nothing really. So right. that tells me, and it's continuously getting views, that tells me that that's what they're interested in. My viewers are interested in kind of content. And so, yes, I get you, girl. I lost it. Give me a second. It's coming back. My ADHD kicked in.
You're just looking for stuff to put on.
Okay, downtown Vancouver. We were like, we haven't been downtown Vancouver because it's basically everything's closed in Canada. Everything is right now. There's nothing you can get takeout food. That's it. Everything else is closed, right? And so we were downtown, like in Valentine's in February. And so we decided, you know what, we had some time to kill. We go through downtown. And so I did a drive-through, basically, of downtown Vancouver, just in case somebody wants to see what it looks like in Vancouver, because it is a cruise port, and people do like that kind of content, but not everybody. It's not cruise-related, kind of. I didn't get down to the cruise port, which I should have. But it's like a 24-minute. I'm just trying to figure out how to edit it down some. Right. And it's hard, like, you know, what's important, what's not important. Yes, there's the boring parts that you can take out, which I've already done. But it's hard to edit videos that you've never. Normally, when you create a video, you have a storyline that you want to create.
Right.
Anybody can sit there and take a camera and press record and shoot a video. That's not what YouTube is. You're creating a storyline for others to see. Recording your trip from point A to point B isn't a storyline. Yeah, you could. It's still a story. You get a flat tire along the way. That's still a story, but anybody can press record. It's the how you edit and everything. That's what they're saying to me, John. I'm not judging anybody, by the way.
Right.
So I'm still learning that with Adobe Premiere, right?
Right.
I'm having issues with my computer. It bogs down, and that's why I'm afraid to move up to the GoPro, because it's not as powerful, even though it should be.
Is your computer old?
I bought that. Gosh, when did I buy that? I bought that in 2010. But I've upgraded some parts, right? It actually is pretty still up there. It's not at the bottom of the list. It's actually I actually did put 32 gigs of RAM, because that was the maximum that you could put it in. And at the time, 32 gigs of RAM was wow. And
right.
32 gigs of RAM is still good, right? So I put 32 gigs of RAM. But what it is I bought the wrong RAM. It shows that there's 32 gigs installed, but only 16 is usable.
Huh.
So I have to get new RAM, which I never really got around to doing it. But with 16 gigs of RAM, that's really the bottom line for video editing, like especially with Adobe Premiere and stuff.
Right.
You need that. You need RAM, right? And so, with all the booking cruising and all that kind of stuff, and the priorities, cruising, new computer. What's
well, the problem too, Larry, is if you're getting like a GoPro, a lot of those do it in 4K now, don't they? Which is a ton of memory.
But you can also drop it down. And so with Adobe Premiere is you can drop when you're editing, you can drop the image quality down to a quarter. Right?
Okay.
You're doing it. I don't know if do you know anything about Adobe Premiere, John?
No, I don't use. I might even have my computer, but I use Filmora.
I actually have the 10.
Filmora 10.
Yeah, I started to use it, but with Adobe Premiere, it's more broad. I can do a lot more things with it that I want to do with my kind of videos, right? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Whereas with Filmora, that monthly thing to get all these extras. Oh gosh, I can't remember it now. Where you get extra like overlays and stuff like that, and titles and stuff. I paid for a month of that, and it's like, you know what? I can see over time that this is just not going to work for me. And so with my Adobe Premiere, I got a lot. There's a lot of resources for Adobe Premiere for free that you can find all over the internet and YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I went back to Adobe Premiere. So that was a long, drawn-out story. What's happening with my channel? I do have some video stuff coming out. I do have my Facebook page. I got my Instagram. I got my Twitter. I'm also a TA. Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. Well, guys, Juma and Larry, thank you very much for coming up.
Thank you for having me.
Our next live is Wednesday at 2 with Nancy.
Good to see you, Najuma. I hope you have a great, wonderful evening, and be safe.
You too. Thank you.
And we'll see you again, Najuma, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, have a good night.
Good night.
Night. Let's see.
Here we go. Yep, there's Najuma, then me.
Then you. Have a good one, Larry. Thank you very much, Larry.
Not a problem. Good night.
Night. Well, thank you very much, anyone that dropped in the interaction. And everyone have a good, what are we on Saturday? I was thinking it was Sunday. Good Saturday night. Hopefully you'll drop back on Wednesday at 2 o'clock for our next live. Have a good week, everyone.